Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm stupid. Okay, listen. I get too excited. I start dancing. It's a mess. All right, y'all. So I am back. I have a whole lot of stuff, I guess, to get through. For those of you who missed it, I should also announce who I am. I'm Audra. Hi. Well, what's up? I'm Audra. Welcome back. Hi, Justine. Hi, Maisha. Listen, I I had book club, but nobody came. I waited like 15 minutes and I was like, well, I gotta I gotta go. I don't have all the time in the world. I have some time, but this is my last day off and I go work 4 days and then I have 3 more days off, which is woot woot. All right. So hi, what's up? I'm Audra. I apparently do live stream commentary for the most part. I try to film stuff, y'all, but like again, my 9 to 5 is a postal worker, so I I have a lot more difficulty. Like filming isn't the problem; it's trying to find the time to edit. And I feel like by the time I get stuff edited, whatever has happened, nobody cares anymore. So I'm just like, oh, all right, well, that's where we are today. So to do a quick recap of what has transpired. Also, yes, I did use the exact same thumbnail because I can't make the new one until this is done. So there will be a new one. Also, today's sweatshirt. Um, Camp Crystal Lake is today's sweatshirt. I'm very excited. Listen, I'm having a time. All right. So quick recap on what has taken place. So, Nick Snyder of The Viewer's Voice created, filmed and edited and uploaded a video, something I'm not doing right now, and exposing a particular brand owner who is attempting to ruin his life. So, with that being said, I'm like over here checking out things, making sure I have everything up and running. Um, no, Marcy, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I'll just reschedule it. I figured, you know what? Listen, there's a lot going on at the end of the year. I'm gonna reschedule it. So don't stress on that. Like I'm gonna reschedule it. Also, I was asking people to read 4 books. Like, but to be fair, to be fair, I have an enormous amount of time to read. Like while I'm delivering mail and stuff, I'm just listening to all these books. So don't worry about it. I'm gonna reschedule it. It's fine. So created this video and basically what he's done at this point is just explain all the reasons and ways and how we got here and the way in which this brand owner has essentially Bo has essentially decided to, I guess, choose the D over friendship, according to him. Now, one thing I didn't do in this one that I did in my other one is I do have to announce, my biases and affiliations. So, first and foremost, I'm going to tell you I have a bias against this particular brand owner. I found them sus a long time ago and have been talking about it for a while. Like, I find it weird when brand owners are in small creators chats because it tingles my spidey senses in the not good way. And I always just kind of look at them kind of sideways, especially when your brand is kind of like not hot. You know what I mean? It's not hot. So when your brand isn't hot and you're over here like in small creators chats all the time, like chatting, I just find that suspicious. And I already have like an eye on you. Later, I found out about like some other situations where I was like, well, my intuition was correct. So I don't particularly like this brand owner as a brand owner. Now I'm finding that I'm not really liking them as a person. Thanks, M. I've been playing. Listen, like when you have deep skin, a white base for these colors is so nice. I know everybody probably already knows that, but like I'm just gonna say it again. I've been playing with it's the same look as last night, but with pink. Ah, because I'll let you know. I'm using Delicious Delights. That's the palette I'm playing with currently. I don't have an affiliation with them, but if you wanted to know, there you go. There won't be a link or anything like that because I don't care. So, um, The other thing is I don't know Nick Snyder personally. I don't know Dustin Daly personally. I think one time, Nick sent me a happy birthday, and I forgot to mention this is the last time. I think I did send him something about being, happy that someone who harmed him was dead, and I was like, "You don't have to feel bad about that. You should feel good." Never got a response, but I just sent that to him because I, have experienced that and had the same feeling in my lifetime. So, I don't know Dustin. I don't know Paige. I have been in Paige's Twitch streams, and she has read some of my comments out loud. I know. And I'm friendly with Peter Mon if he's somehow involved in any of this, but I am friendly with Peter Mon on Twitter. And guess what, y'all? I just got back into my Twitter. Look at me winning. So, the recap is this brand owner has caused a lot of strife, a lot of stress. And Nick and Dustin used to live with this brand owner in Houston, Texas. And they ended up moving because of the D that she was dating and apparently is still dating, and all of the situations going on. This brand owner has essentially accused them of being Nick and Dustin being them, of being freeloaders and causing drama for views. Weird situation, odd thing to do. Um, so I didn't really find that to make sense just based on everything that I have learned thus far. I think it's an odd way in which to con- be like to create drama. I know that we had that one like years and years ago with that one girl who was like, she used to stomp on shrimp. Like that was a fetish. You know what I'm talking about? That's such a weird way to remember. She used to stomp on shrimp and they created this drama between her and some other dude. And then it just like it wasn't real. And that is understandable. I got that. You know what I mean? Because they like went halves in it and made it a thing. I don't feel like this is that. So that's the thing. But yeah, I am also feeling very validated by this because when and not in like the "ha ha, you're terrible," but I think everybody in their lifetime has had like a weird feeling about somebody, and then when it comes out that they are who you thought they were, you feel like validated that the entire time you had that weird niggling feeling in the back of your brain and you didn't want to like chill with them, that you were correct, that it makes you feel good. So we're going to get back into this video. At this point, we have a lot going on. I do also just a side note that this brand creator has there's trigger warnings for, uh SA and unaliving. This brand owner has threatened unaliving um to just make everybody leave them alone, which I wow. Wow. Um, I have had somebody do that to me in my life when I was dating them because I did not know how to break up with them, because they would do that. I've never been emotionally, like, blackmailed before when this was obviously, like, 20 years ago when I was, like, super youthful, and I've had someone do that to me, and that's really shisty, like, that's gross behavior, and I will tell you if you are experiencing that with anybody in your life, just leave. Um, it is not your responsibility anyway. Just I'm gonna tell you that. Just it's not your responsibility. If somebody is trying to make you feel as if you can't walk away from them or that because you're upset with them, they're gonna do that's on them. So never feel guilty for walking away. That is exactly. That is manipulation and yeah. 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 That's a wild situation. She's like, "Let me get my toothbrushes." And if that's true, allegedly, if that's true, I just really can't, I can't deal with it. Justine, I had no judgments about JG, but I tried watching her on the sesh, and she just seemed way too empty-headed and not charismatic at all. Like, she knew 500 words, vocab isn't everything, but I can't breathe. Listen, like, I feel like what is happening now and I think if you're in the beauty community at all, one of the things about all of this is like the reason so many people have been saying that like this brand owner and also Marlene Estelle have been just like trying to live off of their Jaclyn Hill debacle from does it feel like it was 10 years ago? Because it does. It feels like it was a decade ago and that we're still talking about it today. It's still a problem. It's because of this. It feels like they just don't have anything else to offer other than I was victimized by Jaclyn Hill. And like that's it. So I really do I like listen, same. I hope that that is like an embellishment. So like well, when a person verbalizes that they are supposed to go be evaluated to yeah, when that's true. And here's the thing, when someone verbalizes that, like just call the police and like let them handle that situation or, a hospital, whatever you have to do cuz depending on race, gender, all of that could depend on who you call. But when someone's doing that quite literally to manipulate you, like it's not you. Like you're not gonna save them. I promise you that. You're not gonna save them. They're doing that to force you to do what they want you to do, and it's going to keep you in this cycle of like not being able to leave them. It feels like it was last century. Yeah. It almost was a decade. Okay, so listen, I always feel like I'm losing my mind with time because y'all, just side note before we get right back into this, we're gonna jump in because I'm wordy. I talk too much. It's like a little podcast over here, like a solo podcast. Um, but when I tell you I high-pitched pterodactyl screeched because I saw that Constantine 2 was coming out, I cannot contain my joy. And then I realized when the OG Constantine came out, and I was like, "No, it can't have been that long ago." It was. I am upset. Thank you. 100%. Any person that goes on about yeah. I don't if you tell me that you're a good person, I automatically don't believe you because I don't think I'm a good person. Other people are like, "Well, you're not a bad person." I'm like, "I'm not good." So I'm like, I try, but I still do mean things because I'm a Taurus and sometimes I just can't help myself. Um, so we're gonna get into I have this screen share right? We're gonna say, no, no, nope, let me put me back. I'm like, let me put it back. Okay. And add. No, that's not what we want. No, that's not exactly what we're looking for. I think we're looking for that. There we go. I feel like I'm winning. I know it's not super big. I'm gonna leave that alone. And hopefully, all the audio and stuff is exactly as I left it. So I feel like we were right around here, and we're just gonna start here and move forward. Yes.
And
Go.
any money owed. I have no interest in speaking about or to a man who has now threatened karma against Dustin and myself. So now I want to talk about setups because there were a few of them that were going on during this whole entire time. I
Can you
genuinely do
hear?
believe Dustin believes this as well, and everybody else that was a witness to what was going on. We wholeheartedly believe that the ex-friend, as well as this new man and the daughter, were all trying to set us up, and let me tell you why. Not only did we tell the ex-friend numerous times we wanted nothing to do with this man, we did not want him around us. If he comes to the house, we were going to call the police. We think that he's dangerous. We do not feel safe with him around. She literally tried to get us to go somewhere in public and meet up with him so we could talk. What else did you need to hear?
No.
That none of us wanted anything to do with him because we all thought he was dangerous, that he was a con man, that he was a liar. You're the one that told us about his ankle bracelet. What more did you need to hear? What was not clicking? We did not want to go in public and meet this man. Why? So he could try to get a rise out of us. One, to probably record it, but two, so he could try to say that something happened and he could call the police. No. Or God knows what else, actually. Please miss me with this excuse that you use that all of his guns were locked up in another state so nothing could happen. Guess what? Illegal guns are very easy to come by, especially
They
in the
really
state of
are.
Texas. And when there's a will, there's a way. So I'm not putting anything past no one. So there's enough.
I'm gonna pause. Also, I feel like I did get a comment that the 1.75 speed was too fast. Is it too fast, y'all? Let me know. Ankle bracelet. Yeah, Janet, they give you those when you go to jail, and then they let you out. And sometimes it's when you go to jail and they let you out. Other times it is instead of going to jail, they give you the ankle monitor so that they know where you are at all times. So, all right, we'll put it on normal speed. Let me see. Let me see what I have it on 1.5. I wish there was like okay, we'll do 1.25. Yeah, because Nick talks fast as frick. I'm trying to, like, keep my monetization right now. Nick talks super fast. So, I think I'll try that, and then we'll go from there. Okay. He's like, I'm like, "Nick, relax." But he's like, you know when you have drama and, like, you have trauma and you're trying to get it off your chest or, like, tea that you're telling your friends? I feel like that's what's happening right now. He's like, "Let me tell y'all something." So, we'll try it at this speed and see if we can enjoy ourselves. Enjoy is subjective. Okay, go.
Another part of this bullshit ass message that I wanted to read to you guys because it's very pertinent to what I'm about to talk about next. And that part goes as follows. As soon as my daughter wakes up, we are heading to court because we need to file for a restraining order against Nick, Dustin, and Vanessa. My life is not one of their YouTube drama. I left a few comments on Dustin's YouTube. I will make a video in the next few days to expose what they did. Suffice to say, I know where you went. The dance will start again. That I received this morning is just the beginning. The reason that this man said, I know where you went, the dance will start again, he was trying to say that he was receiving text messages and just being harassed online ever since all this started. Bro, no one knew who the you were. So
Yeah,
how was that even happening? It's a little crazy, right? It's a little cuckoo,
it
a
was
little weird. Come on. You believe in your own lies?
that was really weird. Okay, y'all. So if you were watching this on Twitter, bro randomly, like, went and created a Twitter account for all of this drama. Search talking about how he was gonna make a video, like, in here. And the thing that kills me about this 100% is if you're gonna tell me that I'm doing this to create drama, why are you dating this man who apparently didn't have a YouTube channel, all this stuff, and now he wants to, like, make an expose or make a video against these people? He's joined Twitter, and this is what I saw, okay? So this part isn't alleged. Like, I watched him join Twitter, and he started following all the people that, like, Nick follows, Paige follows, Dustin follows. It was super weird. I don't It was such a weird situation because 'cause I'm literally, like, watching this unfold, and I feel like I must have been off work or something when or maybe I was working, but, like, I was just like, "I'm gonna sit at my spot." It's probably my lunchtime, and I just kept watching this unfold, and bro was just, like, on Twitter, like, started a Twitter account, like, all of this stuff, and I'm just like, "Nobody knew who you were." Why were you not behind the scenes? Like, why are you not behind that woman like you're supposed to be? Like, this is and I'm not saying it because he's a man, although but I'm saying if I have a large social media presence and I'm dating someone and some stuff pops off, I don't want you joining joining on in social media and all of this stuff and trying to defend me. I'm a grown ass person. I don't need that from you. I think it's weird and it's very strange. Yeah, I was following Nick before he locked down his socials, and I did. I saw everything. Like, I can't, like, DM him right now, like, if I because I wanted to just be like, "Hey, I'm reacting to your video, bro, like, don't be pissy with me, like, don't don't come get me. I don't have a lot of followers and subscribers and shit, and I don't really need all that stress in my life because I'm still sick. I'm just a baby 43-year-old, and I think you have to be nice to me." I'm a baby 43-year-old who doesn't pay my own cell phone bill, so please relax. Um, it was so weird. Like, it was the weirdest thing that I had ever seen. Thank you. Okay, thanks, Amethyst. I think the 1.25 is perfect because it was like it was right. I think it was Sussex Sandra. I hope that it's better this time so that you can at least watch part 2. Yeah, everybody was trying to figure out, like, who is this man? Why has he joined social media? That was the part, like, to me, when I was looking at it, I was like, "This is where it's getting too weird for me. This is where it's reaching the stage of, like, y'all are being weird, and I don't like it." Like, it's getting to a point where I feel very obvious that this man is not in this for the right reasons. Whatever the right reasons are, I don't feel like he has those. So, whatever they are, he's not using them.
You sniffing your own stuff? Well, the reason that I wanted to make sure that I read that part for everybody out there, because there were some out there that were so naive to believe that the reason that Dustin and I actually left Texas was because we were running from a cease and desist, we were running from a restraining order, and we were running because we were going to get a lawsuit. Would I be sitting here right now, on camera, talking to you the way that I am if I was running from something? Bitch, I'm seated. Well, there's a few things that I want to go over about that part of the message. One, there were no comments ever left on Dustin's video or my video by this man. Later in the day, he did text again from the exact same phone number with the brand owner also in the thread. So I received the first text message at 9:19 a.m. and he sent another text message at 4:50 p.m. Let me read you that one. Out of my love for Jen, I am removing all comments on your videos. It's way too hurt. Grow the hell up. Love is a two-way street. Issue here. Just an issue here with what you had to say. You never left any comments on Dustin or my video, because if you would have, those would have been put on Twitter and we would have discussed it during that time. So I don't know who you were fooling. I don't know if you were telling her that and she was believing that, because it seems like she was believing a lot of what you were saying. It seems that whatever Kool-Aid you have, whatever flavor that is what she was really digging. The second issue that I have with your bullshit ass message is this, because you've been caught in yet another lie. So you guys remember how I told you that this man was going to reach out to the CEO of Starbucks because he was friends with him and he was going to send an email, and then the CEO messaged back and said she could have a job wherever she wanted. Well, September 18th was the day that she was supposed to start her job. Oh my gosh, you guys. September 18th was the day that she was supposed to start at Starbucks. How crazy that earlier that day on speakerphone at the office, the employees overheard him say, which you guys heard in the intro. I'm going to play it for you again in a second. They said that they heard that man tell our ex-friend that she did not need to come to the house by herself because we could be drugging her. So you're trying to make her believe that the ones that literally saved her life once were trying to do it again because of you. You were trying to make her believe that we were going to poison her with drugs. So let's go back to the part of the message that I just read that man sent me, where he said that after his daughter woke up, they were going to...
Why? What is... This is like dynasty level weirdness. What is going on? What is going on? If I was in a relationship like this, please just tranquilize me. You know what I mean? Tranquilize me, hog tie me, give me some milk because I am not doing well. If I'm like this far gone, like I need my friends to truly intervene. Like hog tie me, tranquilize me, get me some milk, like get me together. Just put on Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the OG Nightmare on Elm Street, and like get me out of my brain fog, because this is wild. I can't imagine. Not you. You should be sleeping. Gotta catch up on the 2 times speed. I'm here for all the tea being spilled. What's up, Nat? 2 a.m. Oh, wait. Yes. Yes. Because where are you located? I feel like that's like UK-ish times. I'm like UK-ish times, because it's not Australia, because that's the next day. That's what I said. We need some milk. So I just don't really get why. And for anybody who missed it in part one of the things about this boyfriend is he's claimed to be CEO of companies that you can look up, and his name's not there, which is just like wild. At what point do you keep believing them? Like, and here's the thing: if I date somebody and I meet them on Twitter, or excuse me, I meet them on Tinder, I go look them up. Like, especially because like some of the people that I have dated, I'm not gonna say they're like famous, but they've been in like media type jobs where like ESPN shiz, because I don't want to get into it. But I will go look them up and make sure that that's who they are. Like I will go look them up, because I'm not playing. I'm not playing with you. Like I'm just like... So he's said that he's worked for these like famous companies that obviously anybody could look up, and he just like doesn't have anything to back it up. And she's still over there like, y'all are being haters. Like, no, girl, you can't date you can't date somebody who said that they're CEO. This man also said that he did his own divorce and represented himself in court in Texas. No, like because he's supposedly a millionaire. And I've stated I live in Texas. No one would do that. No one would do that here. You can get divorced without lawyers here, yes, as long as you both agree. Yeah, you can do that. You like literally go online and file like the divorce paperwork, and then you sit together and like that's how I did mine. But you're not gonna go represent yourself. If you're actually a millionaire and you got a divorce, like, babes, I'm so sorry. They're not gonna just like be like fine with you taking everything and leaving them with nothing. I promise you that. And no millionaire here would do that. I don't know a single millionaire on the planet who would represent themselves in court in a divorce. Like, they have shark lawyers specifically for that. So, like, it's just been a lot of weird stories. This guy is just weird, and I don't understand. Like, that was some of the stuff, like, watching it the way he was behaving, on Twitter and all of that stuff, I was like, "Bro has some problems, and we really need to, like, pay attention to the fact that this is getting super wild," right? Like, we have to pay attention. Like, if you're using your logic brain and you're watching this take place, you're like, "Obviously, Nick and Dustin are drama queens. They just are. They've been that way from jump. But so is this man. This man is not the good kind of sassy. And it's very weird. Like, what is happening?
Going to go to the courthouse and they were going to seek a restraining order. He was trying to make it seem like she was so scared for her life, so scared for her safety. Well, the daughter, who was apparently so scared for her safety, the employees told Rosalie when they called her that she was on her way to our house with our ex-friend in tow because she needed to be here for her safety because the man was worried that we were going to do something. So let me get this right. You said that you were going to have to go seek a restraining order against us because we were harassing and your daughter was scared of us. But you, as a parent, as a father that does daddy-daughter time, you were going to put your daughter into a situation that you were deeming as unsafe? That's interesting. Oh, also, as a gotcha moment, we knew that you were sitting down the road at the park watching our house while our ex-friend and your daughter went in and out of the house numerous times. Actually, let me tell you when this
These
started.
receipts are
This went
killing
on
me.
5 times in under a 30-minute span. So what was happening was, at 6:03 p.m., we noticed that our gate opened. This is after we got the message the daughter was on the way to the house. Gate opens at 6:03 p.m., closes at 6:04. Now they pull into the driveway, go into the garage where you can bypass because there were literally no cameras at all, came into the house. Dustin and I were both upstairs because we know what you were trying to do. We know that you were trying to set us up and get some kind of reaction out of us. So during this time, between 6:03 and 6:24 p.m., the gate opened and closed with them going in and out of it, driving down the road to the park that this man was sitting at, watching the house, circling back around and coming back into the driveway and going in through the garage. Now, what's interesting about this is there was a Google Home in the community space, which was the kitchen. Guess what was covered with a McDonald's bag? The camera on the Google Home. Oh my gosh. So you weren't actually grabbing anything from the house between 6:03 and 6:24 when you were acting like a maniac, driving in and out of the driveway, driving down the road to where your boyfriend was sitting watching the house because he knew if he stepped foot on that property, the popo was getting galled. So he sent his daughter. Like, I just want to drive that home to everyone. He literally said they were going to have to seek a restraining order against myself and Dustin and Vanessa, and then sent his daughter, who he was going to seek the restraining order with, into our house numerous times with his girlfriend. We are back outside. It is a new dawn. It is a new day. And I honestly, I'm feeling good. There was one thing that I wanted to say about the last clip.
I also want to say this about restraining orders because because this is Texas again. Um if anybody could get a restraining order, it would actually I'm just going to say this, it would be Nick and Dustin because they actually live in the house. They get mail there, all of this stuff. They would get a restraint because I don't know how that man would. Do you see what I'm saying? How would the boyfriend get a restraining order against them in their own house? Like, you came to their house. Even with the daughter there, you came to their house. This is where they live. So you getting a restraining order is actually not smart because then you can't go to Jen's house. I'm sorry. Does anybody else see that? Like, if he got a restraining order against them, right? he can't he can't go to Jen's house. Like, granted, they can't come within whatever feet of him, but like that's their home. And a judge would look at them, look at that man like side eye crazy, like, okay, I'm gonna grant you this restraining order, but that means you can't go to her house. Because the thing about restraining orders is that like it's a two-way street that a lot of people don't realize either. Is if you put a restraining order on someone, you also can't actively go seek them out. Like you can't be like, restraining order, and then like go to them all the time because the court is gonna find you in contempt. Like the do you, do you know how law works? Like you can't. I'm not super positive on that, but I just I can't fathom why you would think that that would work. Like even if they were putting a restraining order on them, it wouldn't matter if Nick and Dustin left. I just also wanna say that too. Like, if they're so called running from a restraining you're not running from a restraining order. Like, if you just they're no longer in your space. And I think these days, if they had to attend a court date, I think that they could attend it via Zoom. So, what would be the problem? So again, like the logic isn't adding up. Because if you're gonna say, well, they're running from a restraining order, like people saying that, oh, they're running from a restraining order. I mean, if he put a restraining order on them, they're in Florida. It worked. I don't know if she wanted it, it worked. Y'all are weird. Y'all just be saying shit sometimes. Anyways, go ahead.
Clip of the daughter of that man coming into the house numerous times with our ex-friend trying to set us up. After they left the house and we figured out that they would not be coming back because honestly 5 times going in and out of the gate in a short span of time is honestly psychotic. I put over on my community page because at this time, again, this was on the 18th, and especially after she came into the house with the person that was apparently so scared of us they were going to have to go and seek a restraining order. I have nothing that I want to say to you. So I put over on my community page, I just wanted to update everyone we are still packing. All we were trying to do, again, from the 17th, because the 16th is when we brought everything to her attention. So from the 17th when we got up until the 20th when we pulled out of that driveway, we were doing nothing but packing our shit and trying to figure out what exactly we were going to take because we were trying to do it in such a quick time frame because things were escalating that fast. I guarantee you, if Dustin and I would have stayed in Texas and we still would have been in that house, one of us would have wound up in jail because they would have tried to have found some way to make us either freak out. And with the lies that they were already telling, honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if they would have tried to call the police and lied to them because the police actually were very much so involved in this situation. I continued with, I know you're reading this, so if you could please keep your man and his daughter away from this house while we finish, thank you. So the reason that I threw her man in there, because she obviously knew that if he stepped foot on that property, we would have called the police. Like that was just flat out point blank period. Got it. Honestly, we were told that we could have done it when the daughter was there as well, and we could have had her removed, but we allowed them to keep making themselves look like idiots walking in and out of the house. However, the reason I threw the CEO into the mix was because he was sitting down the road at the park. Now, from the house, there was a street right in front of it. So if you went down it, maybe like a block and a half, there was a massive park that had like a parking lot right there. He was sitting out there watching the whole time. He was sitting out there watching the whole time while Dustin and I were packing up our U-Haul to take to the moving place. Like, honestly, all we were trying to do was remove ourselves from a toxic situation. And it's like they were harassing us. They wanted to claim that I was harassing Jen. He put out a tweet that said that I made threats against her. Where? Where are the threats that I ever made against Jen? Oh, that's right, you don't have them. That's because they don't exist. Oh my gosh, another fucking lie. Since we're on the topic of lies right now, let's talk about this one, because this one has to do with the cameras that were inside of the home. Because there were a few fake accounts.
And that's what I said before, okay? I said this before, I'll say it again. Regardless of how you feel about Nick and Dustin, they've been coming with receipts as when this started happening. Okay? When this started happening, I feel like I was also packing at the time. Yes, because we closed on our home on the 22nd. So, I also was packing. But when this started unfolding, when all this mess started happening, it's every time that this brand owner had something to say, Nick immediately responded with a screenshot or like proof that this was not true. And then she just would like move to some other issue or situation. Like I saw this unfold and I just can't understand. First of all, if you're going to get involved with drama bitches, no offense. That's not like I'm a drama bitch. But if you're going to get involved with drama bitches, like you need to know better than to like just be out here saying shit. I'm just going to say that. Like you shouldn't just be out saying stuff and being like, "Well, it'll be fine." You really need to be like on top of this because the way that you're just like saying stuff and you don't have anything to back it up, that's not good. It's like not going to be good in the realm of like public opinion. It's not gonna be good in the realm of just, like, sense and logic, and I've said this before, and I'll keep saying this, if every time you made an accusation against Nick and Destin, And then they came back with receipts saying, no, this is what we agreed upon. This is what we said. Boop, bop, beep, bop, boop. And you don't respond to that. And you're not like, okay, that's true. Or you don't have an alternate saying, no, like da da da. Why aren't you saving anything? Like, considering you're a victim of Jaclyn Hill, you would think that you would save every screenshot you ever got. And my conjecture slash theory is this, because she doesn't have anything. Like, everything that she has would validate what he's saying. That's what I'm saying. I just think, you know, it's like when you're supposed to be somewhere at 6:30 and they sent you a calendar invite, right? And then like you just didn't come or you forgot. And then they were like, how come you didn't come? And you're like, oh, I must have not got the calendar invite. But you're not going to show them your phone because you know that they'll see that you got it. So you just pretend. And you both pretend that that's the truth. That's what I'm going to say. She is looking like a clown, truly. Like, I wonder if I could play the song, do, 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 do. That's Tears of a Clown. Okay. Smokey Robinson, Tears of a Clown.
That when this first started popping off online, started popping up saying that we had illegally installed some kind of monitoring device in Jin's bedroom, saying that we installed cameras inside of the bathrooms, saying that we were spying on her whenever she was in there. What you don't know is that home came hardwired with cameras. They are all over every single community space in that house, but also there is one camera in her bedroom. Now, of course, the ex-friend has allowed people to think that we were watching her through a Google Home inside of her bedroom that we put in there. I'm going to get to that in a second, but that's very interesting that you said that we were watching you on the cameras and we were trying to spy on.
Just to tell you, yeah, my house came hardwired with some camera spots. They're outside, but and I don't know his house, but just I don't know their house, but I will say like newer builds are being done like that. So I can't verify that or not, but I can also just say like clarification
on you. When the whole entire time, when we were trying to move our shit out of that house, you were demanding that we turn the cameras back on. So much that you sent a text message to Dustin saying, don't make me come there. Or what? You called the police several times regarding those cameras, to which they said to you, it's a civil matter and there's nothing that they can do about it. When we called, they definitely gave us the impression that they were sick of hearing from you, but they also let us know that it was a civil matter and we were allowed to keep them off because we were on the lease and we were getting our shit out of there. We were also told that if you came to the house and started acting up, they would have came and they would have removed you. Can we just talk about the police involvement in this situation real quick? Yes. On the 19th, she came back to the house. I saw the police officer pulling in the driveway. I'm like, okay, the police are here. Dustin went out and talked to them. Well, it turns out she had pulled in and she was parking inside of the garage. Now you'll remember in the first half of this year, she broke her foot because she could not stay home during an ice storm. She had to have surgery on it. She was literally off her feet for several months and she was going to physical therapy and she was honestly walking on the thing, walking all around California, all around Hollywood Boulevard. All of a sudden, when the police showed up, she had on this full leg compression sock. She had a limp. God. She was getting through that door like this. And I just turned around and I said, oh, God.
Wait, if that's true, that's hilarious. I'm sorry. I know that's not funny. But for some reason, that it just reminds me of insurance fraud. Oh my gosh. You know how like insurance fraud, it's like, oh, I hurt my neck. And they put the neck wrap on every time they leave the house. But in the house, they're just like playing like basketball and shit. I'm sorry. That's just really funny to me. If that's true, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Spain. Okay, Spain. I was trying to like jog where you were. Because for some reason I have a lot of overseas times in my head because I'm trying to escape America. Anyways, we're gonna I know. I like can't breathe. I just she's just like hobbling along. Like, what is happening? Hi, Brenna. Oh my gosh. I just can't breathe. Like that whole thing just I don't know. I'm sorry. I had to pause because it just reminded me of that where I was just like, girl, what? If the timeline is correct, right? She can always come out with her side and tell what's going on. And I'll do the same thing. The same thing I did with Marlena, where I was like, I don't like her, but here we go. You know what I mean? I'm a listen.
odd. And honestly, that goes with what Letitia was saying in her video where she was talking about how they'll believe me because I'm a white lady with money and all of that.
She told me, this is coming from Jen, and Jen can't deny this because she knows all of my conversations are recorded. I've told her that several times. And I also, when I tell her, she continues to call. So Jennifer knows I'm not reporting her without her knowledge. And Jennifer knows this. So I already know how Jennifer is. After this, she's going to, oh, they're all lying on me. Everybody's not lying on Jennifer. So I know for a fact that Jennifer said, I am a white female and people will believe me.
What I say.
That's what she said. Do you think all these people in Valencia, the radio station, the judges, and also the policemen are going to believe him over me? I'm a white female who has money. I can prove she said that. She can't lie.
Girl, I know it's a sidetrack, but let me tell you what she said when she came back to the house, because Dustin and I both stood there like away from her, but talking to her. Now remember, during this whole entire time, she was very worried for her safety. The boyfriend and the daughter were so concerned for her safety that the daughter, who was going to have to seek a restraining order, came to the house 5 times just the day before. She said that she came back to the house because she wanted to make sure that we were not taking her things like the thermostats. The thermostats belonged to the house. She did not put those thermostats in. She thought that we were going to take her purple towels as well as her purple bedding. What was funny about it though, it was one of those situations, you know, when someone's trying to like give you a name and it's just something that they saw around the room. As she was saying that she came back to make sure that we weren't taking her thermostats, the eyes were shifty all around the room, looking for something to say. Nobody wanted your shit. What we wanted to do was just get our stuff and get out of there in a timely manner. I also find it very funny that you were trying to put on this victim mentality online, that you were just a battered old lady and everyone was coming after you for no reason. I just find it so interesting that somebody that was so concerned for their safety that went online to try to run with that narrative, so hopefully people would turn against us and think that we were just coming after the nice Christian lady. You sure did stay at the house on the 19th by yourself. You and your dog. And you also sure did stick around on the 20th when we were finalizing packing our stuff up and putting it on the truck. You were trying to walk around the house and pretend that you did clean. You never cleaned shit. You had a maid. You literally had the same person that works at your warehouse come to the house and clean. So the fact that you really tried to start the narrative online that you always were left to clean up after myself and Dustin is so comical. You could not even clean up your own dog's piss and your own dog's shit. I know that when I posted a picture of Yogi shit inside of the house when you were trying to tell everyone that we were deadbeats and we haven't been paying you anything for like the longest time, your dog shit was everywhere in that house. Your dog's piss is all over that brand new couch that you bought in 2022. Your dog's piss is all over every single part of the outside of that house to the point where it stinks. Back in 2022, you and I got into an argument because I had just bought really nice patio furniture, and the one thing that we agreed upon when we moved into that house was that Yogi needed to go out front because the back is where everybody was going to be spending the time, and it was going to smell like his alkaline piss because all you do is give him alkaline water. And you agreed to that. You're like, I will let him out the front door. It was literally the same distance for you to go to the front door to the back door. And instead, what you did was you just let him out there and close the door because it was cold. You didn't want to watch him. So he pissed all over everything. That wasn't just for me and everyone else that was going to be going and hanging out back there. That was because that house is a rental. And I'm sure the man that is trying to sell his home for over $1 million when the lease comes up is not going to want to have to deal with your dog's piss being baked into shit. Y'all, let me just talk about this dog shit and piss real quick. I have numerous text messages where I would literally send a picture and be like, Yogi had an accident. Yogi pissed on the cabinets again. Yogi pissed on his water bowl again.
Girl, I walked in here.
To be fair, let me just say this. I don't think it's a good idea to live with people with pets sometimes, because house training can be difficult. When you move, it can be difficult. They start trying to like mark your whole fucking house. It's very annoying. Like I'm dealing with that with Bo right now. They start trying to mark the house and do all this stuff because they're unfamiliar, and it takes a while for them to get settled in and back to their like normal potty trained ass selves. It's very stressful. I think sometimes people just shouldn't like live with people who have pets if you're not okay with it. But I will say it's really, really gross. Yeah, alkaline water is not. I don't get it. What are y'all doing? Just drink water. Like, just drink water. What is happening? Anyways, I do think that it's gross if you're one of those people though that like allows your dog to just like shit on the floor and you don't pick it up. They piss and you don't like do any of the treatments or any of that. Like, that's nasty. That is nasty. That is Also, if it's their furniture and they paid for it, you really need to make sure that your pet is not ruining their shit. That's all. That's all I'm going to say. Like, just make sure that your pet is not ruining their lives. Guys, come on. What kind of monster are you? Like, ugh. Alkaline water, I don't get it. You know that one weird water and like not smart water, it's another one. It's like it's numbers. It's in a long bottle. It's salty. Why are we drinking this? Like, I just want water. Like, I don't need it to And I barely even drink water as it stands. M knows, like, I'll get headaches for days, and then I have to be like, "Oh, it turns out I needed water this entire time." That's why I've been trying to drink water lately, is because I've been forgetting, and it's been giving me headaches. Like, come on. It doesn't do anything except for taste disgusting and make you think, this is my opinion, and make you think that you're doing something good for your body. Cannot stress this enough. Like, your body is a pretty good machine. It doesn't need any cleansing. Please stop it. Okay, here we go.
And I was like, I smell shit. And he was just outside. There's shit everywhere. Oh my God.
This lady tried to send photos from the office that was downstairs on the carpet. You had her bedroom, and then it went down the hallway, and that was where her office was. I don't know why she needed an office. She didn't ever do anything in an office like that. But when the door was open, the dog would go in there sometimes, and he would take a shit. So she literally had the nerve to take a picture of dog shit that was in this office, massive mounds of shit, and then there were like trails of smaller shit that were around it because he had an upset stomach. Because you guys, if you even knew what the she fed this dog, that house smelled so disgusting every single time that she would cook this food. Honestly, we cook our dog's food, and it smells good. That's all that human grade. We could eat it if we really wanted to if times got tough. She sent those photos to Peter Mont to tell him to keep them for safekeeping. That doesn't seem malicious, but you should have told him that it was your own dog shit, because our dogs were never allowed downstairs. Ask anybody that went to that house. Our dogs were either in the game room, our bedroom, or they were hanging out on the stairs right there by the kitchen with a gate across it. You, in the whole time that we were in Texas, never even pet those dogs one time. Did you guys want to know the reason as to why she never pet those dogs in the entire time that we were in Texas? Because she told us that Yogi would get upset and he would get angry at her, so she couldn't touch the purse dogs. So our dogs were literally made to be away from us unless we were outside with them or we were upstairs with them. A lot of the time, we were downstairs, so our dogs didn't even get to spend time with us. I'm about to have to go inside because the sun is going down. Do you guys want to know the reason as to...
Wait, I love that everybody else is getting stuck on vindicated. Vindicated. So tired. That is going to be like my dashboard confessional. That's what I'm going to be known for. And everybody's going to be like, you know that content creator? They talk about like stuff going on the internet and they sing so tired. And somebody's going to be like, Audra Rains? Yes. The Audra Rains? Yes. I'm selfish. I'm wrong. Dabba dabba doo. So anyways, sorry. I'm having a day.
Why she said that the dog was having so many accidents around the house, because he was trying to tell us something. Well, no fucking shit. Do you know what he was trying to tell you specifically? He was trying to let you know that he needed to go outside more because you were not placing him into the proper space for him to actually use the bathroom. If he was trying to tell anybody anything, he was trying to let you know that you are a piss poor dog parent when it comes to letting your dog outside. And please don't try to say I'm lying, because let's not forget that Paige's son slipped in a puddle of your dog's piss. Never mind, I decided to stay outside because I'm enjoying this rain a little bit too much. In Texas, it like never rained. You would literally get like maybe 3 or 4 times a year where you would get rain. The summer was complete torture. It was like Satan's asshole. But I want to get back to the cameras real quick, because she was alluding to, her boyfriend was alluding to, we were watching her through these cameras. We were monitoring her. That's very interesting because on Sunday, September 17th, you text us and you asked, do you have the admin app?
I wanted to read what that
like maybe 3 or 4 times a year where you would get rain. The summer was complete torture. It was like Satan's asshole. But I want to get back to the cameras real quick because she was alluding to, her boyfriend was alluding to.
This says, shady Nick Snyder obviously admits that, unknown to Jen, he was using the Google Home hubs, including the one on Jen's bedroom, to spy on her. For what purpose? I'm asking this because if this were a movie, okay, which I love movies, if this were a movie, he would be spying on her because he wants some. He wouldn't have a man that he is with. Do you know what I'm saying? For what purpose? This is a criminal act. The bedroom is a place with expectations of privacy. This guy's weird. Okay. All right.
We were watching her through these cameras. We were monitoring her. That's very interesting because on Sunday, September 17th, you text us and you asked, do you have the admin access for the cameras? Meaning, do you have the access to sign in and view what is going on the cameras? I said, I never had it, which was true. Not one time when we were living in that house did I ever have an app or did I ever have a login for the cameras or even for the front door. I never even accepted the invite to it. Dustin responded and said, no, it logged me out months ago and I never got it again. She responded and said, that's what I thought. I realized a little while ago that you might not be able to get them back on. So how exactly are we watching you through these cameras if we don't even have access to the cameras? But numerous times you were texting us demanding that these cameras were turned back on. Do you know what you were doing that for? So you could watch us with your creepy boyfriend. So you could spy on us and see what we were saying. She literally tattled on us for having the cameras off to the landlord. She called him up and was like, can you please have them turn it back on? They're moving out of there and I don't know if they're taking my stuff. All of this. Dustin called the landlord and spoke to him and he was like, there's nothing I can do about it. Nothing I can do, but could you please turn them back on?
Could y'all imagine being this landlord? Like, you're just minding your corporate landlord evil business over there, like kicking puppies and like making sure that people can't have free food from a dumpster. And then these people are calling you. Like, like I would lose my, I'd be like, listen, all of y'all need to go. All of you. Like, all of you have to get the fuck out of my house. Like, I couldn't, I like literally could not handle this. I'd be like, all of you get out of my house. Every last one of you. I can't stand it. Please leave. Because this is, ah. So I will tell you this. Say I find it odd that they stayed there and it was so nasty. He's describing it as hell. I would have left long before the falling out. So here's the thing. When I was a kid, I had to stay, like my mom was stationed in Oman. She had to go. There wasn't a way out of it. And she's my only parent. So she goes to Oman. I had to stay with my friend in middle school, like slash high school. I think. Yeah. Yeah. It was a kind of situation like this, right? I didn't really have anywhere else to go. And also I would think that before it became acrimonious, they probably did a lot to mitigate the smell. Like, that's my assumption. They like, before things got ugly, they probably, like, picked up the shit a bit, had, like, air fresheners and did all this stuff, and they were upstairs while she was down. So, they probably didn't have to spend a lot of time in her downstairs stink fest. So there's also that. I'm sorry I called it her stink fest. I apologize. That was rude. But they probably didn't have to spend a ton of time down there. They're like upstairs. They could open windows if they wanted to, like on the 7 days, might be 13 days out of the year that you can open windows in Texas. And that might be it. But also, like Emma saying, if you don't have the money to move at that time, you might just put up with it. But I also, yeah, like I'm kind of paying attention to some of the stuff that he's saying. And from my understanding, like he and Dustin lived upstairs and she lived downstairs from my understanding of the situation. So I'm thinking that is probably what inspired them to start a candle company, period. So I'm thinking that more than anything, what took place was they just figured out a way in which to like make it livable. Because for those of you who don't know, there was a period of time, I guess, where they had an agreement with regards to rent. This is what I saw on Twitter. While Nick was in a depressive state. I won't say anything good or bad about that because mental illness is mental illness and it's not my place to like, be nasty to anybody about that. I have it like I have a lot of clutter problems, but but regardless of that, if again, and I said this before, if it was such an ordeal and you didn't like that they weren't paying you rent, then you should have kicked them out. Like at that point, you should have just been like, you have to leave because you're not keeping up your end of the bargain, et cetera, et cetera. These two don't really strike me as people who will stay somewhere that somebody doesn't want them to be, but I don't know them, so I can't tell you for sure. As long as the smell stays at a certain level, you low key get used to it. That's the thing too. Like when I lived in this house, because they had their dogs pissed and shit all over the floor. So did the cats. Like they had a lot of animals. I feel like at one point it was like 4 cats, like 5 dogs. It was pretty intense, and they just pissed and shit all over the carpet. Okay. It stunk. It was bad enough to where when you left their house, you smelled like the house and you had to like take off all of your clothes, immediately wash them and take a shower, like wash your hair, like the whole nine, right? But you get used to it when you're in it. And then when you it's like not until you walk out and like breathe fresh air, and then you come back and you're like, oh, you get kind of knocked out. And then the other thing is too, is you prepare for the stench. Like you're out in fresh air, you're like, this is great. And then you start prepping yourself for going in there, like, okay, so like I'm giving you too much of my life. Um, Yeah, I'll give Nick a break if he's being hyperbolic about this part, not saying he is doing that, all things considered. Yeah. I feel like he said 50 between 56 and 59. So like, you know, I get that some people don't have choices, especially kids, but they acted like they could leave and that's what yeah. No, that makes sense. My grandma was nasty. I thought for years having a dog meant you were nasty, and then I got a dog and realized she was just nasty. I'm sorry, I can't breathe. You're like, I got a dog and realized like, oh no, she was just nasty.
on so she could at least feel a little bit better. And we agreed to do it. We turned those cameras back on at 6 a.m. on the 19th. Y'all, September 19th was so eventful. Dustin talked to the landlord before we went to sleep at 6 a.m. because we were literally staying up all night each night packing our shit. So after we woke up, honestly, I shouldn't even send this text message to her because she could have just found out for herself. But I text her around 1:23 p.m. and I said, Dustin spoke to the landlord. The cameras have been on since 6 a.m. when we went to sleep. We have stuff around the house as we are packing and separating the things we don't want to take. If you come back today, can you please not have your boyfriend or his daughter in tow? We are trying to get everything out of here ASAP and don't have that much more to go. There is no hostility on our end regarding you. Our response was nothing more than out of concern for a person we care about. In regards to us leaving furniture, can you please let me know which you were referring to and the amount you'd remove from the tally for each item? Thank you. And then, because that was the first thing that I texted when I woke up, I went on social media and I went over to Twitter, and guess what? She was continuing to run her mouth on Twitter. She was trying to make up lies and character assassinate me. So I texted her back after I saw that and I said, actually, we would prefer you not to be here as we are removing our items to leave this toxic, dangerous situation. It's clear you're only looking to further have arguments and tell lies. We should be done by today and I will let you know. If you come here and start with any bullshit, I will call the police again to let them know the situation. So it's like she wanted us to do all these things to help her and to benefit her, but she was going to continue to go online and try to trash our name. So immediately we turned the cameras back off, and the way that we were shutting them off was actually through the Wi-Fi routers. They tried to say that we were going into the room, going into her closet and unplugging them. Those cameras were never unplugged. They were literally turned off from the router. Another lie. But I want to talk about these Google Homes real quick because there was a major lie surrounding these. Number one, our ex-friend does not even like Google Homes. She definitely does not like Alexa. Number two, trying to tell people that we had installed one in her bedroom and we were watching her through the camera. Well, I am here to let you guys know that she actually mailed all of these devices back to us. So thank you for that, because I get to now show it in this video for everyone. I'm going to tell you exactly what rooms these were in. She asked Dustin if we would leave the Google Home so she wouldn't have to replace them. We all know the reason why you were wanting us to leave those is because you thought you were going to go on there and get videos. And even if you were able to get some kind of video, what are you going to prove? That we're stoned all the time in the kitchen? So this is the one from the kitchen. This is the Google Hub Max. This one actually had its camera shut off because we actually caught our ex-friend one time looking at us through the camera. She was not aware that when somebody is actually viewing the camera right here, it will tell you. There's a bar that goes across the Google Home. It will literally alert you to the fact that somebody is watching the camera. This is the second Google Hub Max that we had in the house. This one was upstairs on the second floor inside of the game room, literally facing the back wall. So again, not in her room. This is the one that Dustin and I had in our bedroom. Obviously, no camera. This is the Google speaker that we had upstairs in the theater room, and obviously, no camera. This is the one that our ex-friend had in her bedroom. Do you guys see a camera anywhere on this device?
You're moving it. I can't.
I didn't think so because it doesn't exist. If you were looking here in the middle of it, that's a sensor. Wow, another lie debunked. Another fun fact about the Google Hub that was inside of our ex-friend's bedroom, it had actually been unplugged for days.
The editing has been pretty good. I feel like one thing he should have done when he was like, "That's a sensor," he should have come in close. Wow. Um, yeah, Brenna, I understand pets having accidents, but it should definitely not be normal. Yeah, because so Bo has been it's been an adjustment, right? Because first of all, he like had to be at the vet because they have a boarding system, like they board and all that stuff. So he had to be at the vet, he had to go through all of this, and then I hadn't set up this room, and apparently I needed to set up my stream room for him to feel comfortable because he was having like a lot of accidents and like mad stressed. And then I set this up and then he just stopped being a little asshole. So then he does, apparently according to our dog trainer, He's trying to leave, like, so that we can get back. And then we have to be, like, more dominant. My mom has to be more dominant, okay, because I'm pretty dominant, but, like, she's very soft because she has cats. Anyways, so we have to do that together. So I get that the dog can have accidents. I get that that is a situation, but, like, this whole thing is just girl, girl, we have, like, 30 more minutes of this. Girlfriend, I think I know if you have not done so already, remove everyone's photos from your website, okay? It's time to let it go. You have lost this battle. And if you're not careful, I feel that there's a potential that it could completely destroy your brand, which is already, in my opinion, on like two tiny little legs trying to survive, like two fly legs that are rubbing together.
Is she told Dustin the reason that it was unplugged? Whenever she was on the phone with her boyfriend, he would talk to his Google and it would make hers go off. So he was already getting into her head about us before we even brought our concerns about him to her. Another interesting fact, on top of our ex-friend saying this to a lot of people behind the scenes, she sent Rosalie a voice memo and literally ignored what Rosalie was saying in hers. You've heard that Rosalie voice memo throughout this. It was a very serious one. She sent her a voice memo back and she was telling her how she handed her phone to this man and he was saying that Dustin was going in and he was adding things into the Google Homes after we were not there, after we had been out of the house for hours. I find that to be a very interesting thing to say because I went into my own Google history and I looked up all of the Google notifications for around that time. I have one right here from September 19th at 11:01 p.m. before we even left the house from Dustin adding a new Google Hub Max to the house because we had taken the Wi-Fi down because of your man. Let's not forget that. Then I have one on September 20th at 7:39 a.m. Again, not when we left the house. We had not left the house. Do you want to know why there was a Google Home added on September 20th at 7:39 a.m.? It was installed right outside of our bedroom door because we were leaving the house to go and get the U-Haul truck, and we were going to be leaving to go to where we were putting our stuff. Now, another little interesting fact, I'm not sure if you knew that we were going to receive an email about this. By the way, the cameras that you were trying to say that we were watching you through and your man was literally in your head having you believe that we were watching you through these cameras, I have an email from Google on September 20th at 8:53 p.m. and it says, heads up, a camera has been removed from your account. Moving right along. I have another one on September 20th from 8:54 p.m. that says, heads up, a camera has been removed from your account.
I don't know what
So
this
again,
means.
how were we watching you through any of these devices? And another little fun fact about that, before we left Texas, our ex-friend asked, because the internet was in my name, so I was the one paying the bill, she asked if we could leave it on until she was able to get like everything situated for her. I said,
Wait
okay,
a minute.
fine.
For the freeloader fans. For the freeloader folks. He was paying the internet bill. And to me, that's gold. like I'm doing all of this because I have internet. You know what I mean? If I didn't have internet, it would be like, oh, what am I supposed to do all day? Not likely to you're like, I'm more likely to buy Morphe than from this brand. Wow. Listen, I like their eye base. That's a thing that I do like. But otherwise, it's like just okay. Like everything else is like, all right. Because I think she sent me like what are them things? You know, the grab bag type boxes? Like, you know how Beautylish has like a surprise bitch box? I swear, if I remembered the names of things, I don't think it would be fun. But you know what I'm talking about. And then she sent me like I got one of those. That was like 3 years ago. I was already thank you. The brand was already on life support. It's flatlined. Yeah, I just don't get it. Mystery box. That's the word. I'm like, ooh, I liked my iBase, but like I stopped using it. One, because I can't find it, if I'm perfectly honest, because I moved. And honestly, if I find another box just like filled with like makeup and skincare, I think I'm gonna scream. But but like that's what I've been doing with this is like playing around with my water activated liners from Lethal and like figuring out different ways to like make more impactful looks using those. So I don't really need that. You know? And remember, nobody mentioned the Milani eye base because it doesn't work for me or Teresa. Who, by the way, if you go look at us side by side, we have the same face shape. Of Teresa's dead, Audra Rains. Go look. Promise you.
I was done with the situation. Okay, fine. That's great. How long do you think it's going to take you? She told me the amount of days that she thought it was going to take. Immediately when Dustin and I left that house on September 20th and we were leaving for the final time, he was driving the U-Haul out and I was driving our car out as well. The man who I told you guys was sitting down the road at the park that was watching us the whole time as we were getting our shit out of that house immediately started online, immediately started going on Twitter and started, this is a little weird. He started following back every single person that was interacting with any of our tweets about this. Any of the tweets that we were responding to the bullshit that our ex-friend and this man were trying to do behind the scenes. But a lot of it was this man on Twitter with what he was trying to run his mouth. Because something about our ex-friend is she doesn't want to get her hands dirty and she wants you to believe that she is this nice little innocent lady and she can trick you. We were duped for fucking years, but she tries to have everybody do her dirty work. Even when Rosalie was talking to her about this, she was like, I haven't said anything. Check my Twitter. Check my Twitter. I told you guys earlier, she's trying to make it seem like she is continuously getting attacked when all people are doing is responding to the bullshit that she is doing behind the scenes. The lies and literal slander and defamation that she is trying to tell people behind the scenes. So after this man started on Twitter, we knew that he was down at the park. Obviously, the first place he's going to go is right down to the house to fill her head with some more lies. And he was continuing on Twitter. So when we were like a few hours into our journey, because we told everyone that we did have a flight out that night, that was just because we were not about to risk it, letting people know that we were driving when this lady has our license plate and all that information. Certainly not. So after we were a few hours into our drive, our friends were updating us on what was being said on Twitter and social media, like Reddit as well. That man, as well as the ex-friend a little bit, were on social media telling more lies about myself and about Dustin. The funniest one was that we were running from a cease and desist, a restraining order, as well as a lawsuit. I think a lot of people forget, and it's actually funny because the ex-friend knows about this and she laughed.
Yeah, I've said this before. That doesn't make sense. If you have a cease and desist order for them to like stop bothering you or whatever, and a restraining order, like they moved. So what would they be running from? Someone who understands law more than I do, let me know. But I'm just saying, you wouldn't be running from that. Like if the court contacted you and said, hey, we have a restraining order for you, you'd be like, I'm in Florida. And they'd be like, okay, well, you've been served. Like cease and desist, whatever it is. But like, if the cease and desist was like, stop viewing us on camera, again, they moved out of the house. So what would the cease and desist be for? If it was like, stop talking shit, I mean, you'd have to be able to prove that it was like negatively harming your dry ass business. And your business has been dry for like a long time. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying like, it's dry. Like from my perspective, obviously I'm not the target audience of Gerard Cosmetics. So I don't know. I don't know. Okay. I'm just making sure I still have internet because we've been having issues with the internet today and it's been a wild time. If I'm still here, clap in the chat. If not, I'll be back.
About this, I received a cease and desist in 2020 from Teresa Romer, an actual millionaire. Okay, an actual person that has their own company. And I literally went on camera and burned that in my kitchen sink. So please tell me why I would be running from a cease and desist. So after our friends told us what this man and our ex-friend were saying on social media, I said, oh no, not on Beyonce's internet and certainly not on mine. So I called up Spectrum and I got a little petty and I put a vacation hold on that shit. You're not going to go on my internet and talk shit about me and make up lies. So you know how I've been saying that this person had reached out to drama channels and as well as her man reached out to drama channels? I mean, you guys saw in the beginning, the tea time, check your email. The two that I'm always referring to is Peter Mon as well as Rich Lux. One of this drama channels was told when they were contacted by our ex-friend that she will not be returning the Spectrum modems that she already agreed to return. Now, if that's her version of getting petty, bitch, really, I literally put a vacation hold. So what you're trying to do is my credit, which actually goes with what you said to Dustin prior to us leaving. One of us has to have good credit. I have to say, I think it's comical that you reached out to, of all people, Rich Lux, to try to get him to make a video about the situation, to like sell him your side of the story. It's comical to me because all you do is talk shit about Rich Lux, that he cost you a lot of money and he really pisses you off for that reason. So the fact that you're trying to recruit someone that you don't like, which is actually funny.
Wait, does anybody know why Rich Lux cost her money? Because he had a setting spray. I actually literally have it right here. That's wild. Wait, I didn't do that on purpose. I promise I didn't do it on purpose. I have the Rich Lux setting spray. This is one of the things that was sent in that like grab bag mystery box. What did he do? What did he do? Like, I don't fuck with Rich Lux because you know what I mean? Like, Like, there's a level of me that, like, appreciates the honesty, but all like, and by honesty, I mean, like, him being honest about saying, like, "I do it for the clicks," but, like, I can't really fuck with that, though, you know what I mean? Like, I can't deal with, like, not being authentic just so that you can make money. Like, that's your business and you live your life that way, that's fine, but I can't do it. I literally don't know. It's just there's slay all day. Listen, the thing is, I don't really like setting sprays, and I will literally only use this if I'm trying to do an inner eye corner, and I do need to, like, actually just check it, like, not because I don't like Jen Gerard and not because I don't like Rich Lux. It's because it stings when you put it in your inner eye corner. Like, for me, it stings. Like, and I don't like that, and I don't really use setting sprays because I'm a greasy, oily bitch, so, a setting spray for me most of the time makes it worse. The only one I like is the Flower Beauty one that mats me down. Alright, let's get back in here.
because you don't like tea time. But your boyfriend recruited them to make videos by sending them emails about lies and shit about us. It's actually so funny because you don't even like Drama Investigator either. And your boyfriend literally reached out to her and sent her a bunch of shit about us so she would make videos. And she made 2 videos. The first video was about the situation at hand.
This whole situation is getting ultra mega super messy. I have now been emailed multiple emails. If you guys want a video on those emails, I was sent by Ginger R's boyfriend. Let me know in the comments. Today, however, we're just going to be reading public receipts.
And the second video was reading off his emails because she began to pick up the really weird, sketchy vibe that we were getting.
Ginger R's boyfriend is not happy and he is suing. He sent me an email with a cease and desist letter, receipts, I guess you could say, screenshots, and more.
So again, how am I, Dustin, or anyone for that matter, trying to f with your brand? Because it seems like you're trying to do what Letitia said that you like to do and try to make it so people can't make money on social media by trying to ruin our credibility and trying to have our peers make.
So for those of y'all who can't see this, what I guess his name is Charles, because of course it is. Of course it is. And it says, having just learned that Nick Snyder, Dusty, and Paige felt that it was a great idea to have their followers contact my company's clients, the ones listed in case studies, etc. I now feel that it's okay to reach out to employers, sponsors, suppliers, etc. Let the games begin! Exclamation point. This bitch is, I don't listen. Again, to give JG the benefit of like some kind of doubt, you'd be like, maybe, like, but all of this, I'm like, girl, get out. This man seems to be using the 1 centimeter, the half centimeter, the quarter centimeter of clout that you have. Now I'm being mean, but the quarter centimeter of clout that you have to like jumpstart his own YouTube career. Do you not see that? I'm asking for you because normally people say I'm asking for a friend, but you're not my friend. I'm asking because like it just makes sense. Like, do you not see that this is what's happening? That this is like he joined Twitter. He followed all of your friends. He's reaching out to drama channels, allegedly, but also for real, because we just heard that video. So he's reaching out to channels, trying to like get his side out. Girl, it can't be that good. It can't be like, I need you to stand up. I need you to stand up, babes. You need to get up off the ground. You need to get up off this man's feet. Stop riding the D. If that's what you do, I don't really want to think about it. It's kind of grossing me out. I'm sorry I said that. But you need to like get up, get off, and like not off good, but like off of it, you know? Mhm. And then you need to get your sense together because like this man is like, from what I'm learning here and have seen with my own, thine own eyes, I don't feel like he has any good intentions for you. It feels like he's using you. Like, that's what I'm gonna say. It feels like he's using you.
Videos on us with the bullshit that you're spewing. Did you notice how there really haven't been any videos made about this situation other than the videos where your man or you reached out to a drama channel, that's because we were trying to leave this off the internet as much as possible. You are the one that wants to keep this going. You are the one that is contacting people that are close to certain individuals and trying to scare them for their friend. You literally contacted Rosalie's husband to tell him that you are worried about her and her mental health because myself and Vanessa are manipulating her. You were trying to get him to tell her not to come to Florida to see us after all of this went down because we were going to manipulate her and we were going to be so mean to her and just awful. What's so interesting about that for me is leading up to when Rosalie was here, she was receiving a lot of hate over on her Facebook. And do you know what stopped when Rosalie touched down in Florida? The hate. And then do you remember when you called Rosalie's friend and you were trying to convince her that it's like so weird that the hate stopped for Rosalie when she was here, implying that we were the ones that were doing it? You were literally telling on yourself. Once we got away from Texas, it was like a weight was lifted. I know I've received a ton of comments since we've actually been out of Texas that a lot of you out there can see that Dustin and I seem a lot happier. I genuinely do believe that the person that we were living with, and I'm not even trying to be shady, I do think that she has a dark cloud around her. And the reason that I say that is because out of nowhere, she started to get like into very like spiritual stuff. She was talking about like the moon water, doing the salt around the house, blow the cinnamon in the door, get a mirror, have it facing out, put the cinnamon in the ground out of the front door. Like the candles. Now, admittedly, I do enjoy lighting the candles, the ones where you write on them and all of that. I think it's great. However, I don't think that when she wrote on her candles, she had like good intentions because it didn't work. I'm just saying, when we got to Texas, she told us a story that after a few nights when she was in that house that burned down, she literally woke up out of a dead sleep and heard something from across the house. It was like a 7,000 square foot house. She heard something scream, leave. And then after being there, I don't even know how long it was. It was like right in the beginning. She slipped on the tile that was in the front of the house and completely split her lip all the way down. Had to go to the hospital and get some stitches. It seems that falling seems to be the thing. When she went to the office, when it was literally ice outside, she slipped and fell and broke her ankle. She fell again after her surgery. All I'm saying is I think that she's getting in way too over her head with that stuff. And I don't think it's having the outcome that she is expecting. I think it's having the exact opposite of what she wants. Because every time that she does one of those candles or something, it's always about money. She wants money, 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 money. It's not working. And by the way, the little mirror that you put on the front of your house that your psychic friend told you to put there, you should get a mirror. It's literally a piece of foil that you put there. It's not a mirror. You can't see anything in it. Another thing that I want to say about Drama Investigator's video, in one of the emails that she received from our ex-friend's boyfriend, it literally said about the cease and desist, the cease and desist that we were running from. By the way, when I received the cease and desist from Teresa Romer back in 2020, you know how they delivered it to me? By text message. And it's a little interesting that I didn't receive any kind of cease and desist or anything about a restraining order or anything about a lawsuit when they could have gotten the gate because they would have had the code because of our ex-friend and the boyfriend. Wow. Wow. But in this email, he also sent this cease and desist, which by the way, it was like watching Jacqueline's video where she was talking about the lipstick, where she was like sitting really far back from the camera trying to like show you shit. And it was extremely fuzzy as hell. Well, you'll see my name, Dustin's name, as well as Vanessa's. And then you see one that is blacked out. Now that was Rosalie. So in the email, he was saying that she was being cooperative and she was going to be a witness and she was going to help them basically come after myself, Dustin, and Vanessa and sue us. Well, I don't know, but have y'all been hearing Rosalie all throughout this video?
For those of you who can't see, let me.
Rosalie. So in the email,
it says, let's set the record straight. They ran because they got a cease and desist. Like, I've never heard cease and desist so many times because I'm not a lawyer and I'm not in law. This is a lot. Look at the timing dates. The fourth party participated in the call. They're going to be a witness, so her name is fully redacted as she is fully cooperative. I strongly encourage anyone partaking in this to be very cautious and not spread falsehoods nor initiate hate or incite hate. Sorry. I someone who understands law, do they not serve you with these things? Like, are you not served by like a court of law, like to ensure that you received? Because I know that you get served with the restraining order. You get served when they're trying to make you pay something. They're like, hey, are you Audra German last name? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, you've been served. I'm like, bitch. So I got caught. So what? I just feel like, does anybody else feel like they're in the middle of the Twilight Zone with this situation? Okay. It feels very Twilight Zone-y. And there's still 20 more minutes. Let's do it.
Well, he was saying that she was being cooperative and she was going to be a witness and she was going to help them basically come after myself, Dustin, and Vanessa and sue us. Well, I don't know, but have y'all been hearing Rosalie all throughout this video? Another lie debunked. So our ex-friend finally shut up on Twitter and started to like tweet out a bunch of like pictures of puppies because that's like always her thing. Oh, the puppies, they're so cute, all of that. Trying to push down all the tweets that she had been putting out about us to make it seem like she wasn't saying anything else. Well, all the people that you called behind the scenes that let us know tells a different story. So the CEO kept going on Twitter, and one of the things that he was saying was, setting the record straight after scumbag Nick Snyder makes false allegations about my daughter. She was never suicidal. That is a massive lie. You're right. It is a massive lie. But you know who told the lie? Your girlfriend,
did.
our
Yeah.
ex-friend. Because remember what she also said to Rosalie and Paige about suicide? And then the next day told Rosalie she was just saying that to get the heat off of her? Yeah, another lie from your girlfriend. Number 2, she accompanied because we were concerned by the threats Nick made against. Again, this is about the day that the daughter came to the house, the same day that he texted saying that they were going to get a restraining order. When she woke up, I'm still waiting to see these threats that I made against. She had been in contact with the police, by the way, so I'm sure she would have brought them up to the.
Also, just another side note that, like, as long as I will also say this, like, let me figure out how to put this. As long as I have been like followed Nick Snyder on Twitter, I don't feel like he's ever locked his shit down like this. I don't know what that says. I'm just saying I don't feel like he's ever done that. Like, you can still go to, because listen, when I opened up my Twitter, I was gonna try to like DM him and be like, "Hey fam, I'm reacting to your video. Please don't copyright strike me. I don't need that in my life because I'm just a sweet little innocent brown baby, and you shouldn't do that. It's racist." No, I'm just kidding. You're anti-black if you do that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. But like I couldn't like all you can get is this OF, and like I'm not like I'm good. I don't want to see any of that. I did see his butt cheeks because I'm a curious kitten. I went a little too far. It's my own fault. It's fine. It's okay. But like, yeah, this is why I don't like the people. This is why I tell y'all when like creators and friends and all these trips where people are like creating them, I want to see my friends. I don't want to see the rest of those people. Do you know what I mean? I have my friends and I like them. And not saying I don't like all those people, but I'm also saying like I have my friends. Like if I wanted to meet, you know, Kara and I wanted to go like meet Jen in person, like I would do that and just meet them because that's who I want to see. But I don't want to see a bunch of people I don't care to meet that I don't ever talk to. You know what I mean? I never talk to you on this platform. Why would I go on a trip with y'all? So this is why I don't like people. I feel like this is just a lot. Whew, child. Like I'm getting burnt up. Okay, here we go.
Them then. Number 3, no employee said any of the BS you claim. That's interesting because what does this sound like?
She was everything. She would have her phone on speakerphone, and I remember saying, "I don't want you alone, man. What if they drug you?"
And then this one was so comical. So I tweeted out, if y'all are wondering why there was initial concern over the man lying to our friend out of her own mouth told numerous people this man was the CEO of Deutsche Bank and AMD Avalon processors. Yet there's no documentation online linking him to any of those companies. That's just the first red flag. So this man took my tweet, took like a screenshot of it, tweeted it out and said, first I was the guy telling them that I was the CEO of Deutsche and AMD. Now they claim that Jen said it. Lies piling up.
Are you slow?
Let me clear this up for you because it's clear you're not able to understand certain things. So let me just clear this up for you. When I said he told her that he was the CEO of this bank, he told her that he was the CEO of AMD Avalon processors and whatever the else you said, I am saying that you verbally said that to our ex-friend. And then our ex-friend turned around and told myself, Dustin, Rosalie, and many other people. So I am not saying, I'm talking slow for you. I am not saying that you told us that. That's not what I'm saying. We never had that conversation, sir. I'm saying that you told her. Okay? Are we clear? You good? Stop whatever you are smoking or whatever. You have zero credibility, Nick. Keep your lies consistent. The rest of the lies adds to the libel. So after the CEO went on for a few days on social media, he actually realized that nobody was believing the cease and desist. Nobody was believing the restraining order. Nobody was believing the fact that there was a lawsuit. So he just...
And let me just say this. I don't ever feel like Nick and Dustin have been liars. I feel like they're extremely biased. That's what I'm going to say. Especially back in the day, I was watching them all the time, as many of us were, like the height of Dramageddons. I'm going to just put an S on it because I don't remember how many there were. And yes, I think that they knew that deep down. I just think that there is a level where you start to look at somebody, because to me, this owner's eyes were deceptive. That's all I can say. Their eyes seemed deceptive to me. I didn't like it. I was like, I'm good. I found it sus that they were showing up in, small creator live streams. I was like, weird. What are you doing here? Stop it. It's odd. This isn't a space for you to talk. Again, it's just like beauty creators actually chatting and trying to defend themselves or whatever in BGC. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, that's not your space. You can, if you want to be nosy, be nosy. I'm nosy. I tell you all the time, I'm in there being a nosy bitch. But also, I'm not going to defend myself or other people in there. You know what I mean? Like, occasionally, very rarely, I like comment something because I just can't handle all the like mistruths that get thrown around in there. And sometimes I just can't handle it. Okay. I'm like, "Nah." But otherwise, it's like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. Because I think again, you cannot like him. I don't love that they are not pro they pro non-binary because that's always been a thing. Gender is fluid and interesting. Uh, but this is just wild. You're like, not you saying I'm gonna start using cease and desist in everyday stuff. Like when my dog barks at nothing, I'll tell him I want him to cease and desist this behavior. I swear I am. I'm gonna start doing it at work. Like, oh, cease and desist, making me do stuff because I'm really tired and I should be at home. Cease and desist, but keep paying.
Decided after all that he said, saying that he witnessed the drug use and all this kind of stuff, he took to Twitter to say the following. The one good thing that emerged from this drama is that so many people burned by Nick Snyder, Dusty, and Paige came together. Project Shady Nick will debut soon. It will be an amazingly well-documented omni-media presence about his lies, misdeeds, he meant misdeeds, cover-ups, backstab. Thank you for the invites. And then there's another one this is good too. Having just learned that Nick Snyder, Dusty, and Paige felt that it was a great idea to have their followers contact my company's clients, the ones listed in case studies, etc., I now feel that it's okay to reach out to employers, sponsors, suppliers, etc. Let the games begin. Now, that's very interesting about the suppliers because who would know what our candle supplier was? Because we were going to do the candles. We've actually been trying to start these candles, and every single time that we go to want to start it, something comes up. It's so funny to me, though, because you were literally trying to make everyone believe that you were gathering information because you were going to file a lawsuit against us because you didn't like the fact that we had concerns about you, and we gave those concerns to our friends. So it once again is another new day. I have not spent every single day on this video, you guys. I have taken my time with this because I am not focused on this. I have other things going on in my life. The person in question from this video is obsessing. I just found out the other day that she is still continuing to talk to her employees about this, still continuing to make her employees watch videos on this matter to see what people are saying about her. I don't think that is in their job description. But anyways, let's get back to this video because I just read you guys the tweet from the boyfriend that said, Project Shady Nick will debut soon. It was going to be an omni-media experience. So what I'm assuming is he thought that Drama Investigator, Tea Time, and all these other channels were going to continue to talk about this, continue to paint myself and Dustin in a negative light. Although Drama Investigator's videos did not paint us in a negative light at all, which is how we got to what I'm about to talk about next. Because would you be surprised? Like if you went over to Drama Investigator's channel, if you looked for these videos of this situation, you will find that they are no longer on her channel. Do you want to know why they are no longer on her channel? After the video went live on Drama Investigator's channel, where she was reading off the emails that the ex-friend's boyfriend of 17 days sent over to her, the people that were on the fence with the situation, that when they actually listened and saw on the screen what these emails were saying, they started to think that this man was crazy as well, and they were right. And by the way, Dustin and myself were accused of reaching out to Drama Investigator.
If there's one thing a drama channel is going to do, it's find out if you're nuts. They're going to find out if you're like really, if you're on the up and up. You know, you could be nuts and medicated. I've been nuts and medicated. You can be nuts and unmedicated. Maybe he needs some medicine. I don't know. I know that I, at points, definitely needed to calm the fuck down. So, I wanted to bring this up because cease and desist, this is from Natalie. Cease and desist letter is not legally binding and reflects the opinion of an individual, typically an attorney. A cease and desist letter may serve to warn an offender that legal action. Ooh, we're almost to the end. You're typing it out. I know you are. Yeah, a cease and desist is just a warning. Like, this is what I'm saying. It's really weird that people kept being like, oh, they're running from a cease and desist. Like, how? You can't run from a warning. Like, hold on. Sorry, I have so much snot in my nose. It's actually ridiculous. I implemented a cease and desist at work already. It didn't go over well. All right, here's the finishing point from Natalie. We left off with a cease and desist letter may serve to warn an offender that legal action may take place if they don't stop the activity. The offender is generally given a set time frame, usually 10 to 15 days, to cease and desist. A cease and desist letter must comply with the laws. So yeah, if they moved out, then they followed your cease and desist, you dipshit. I'm so sorry. I should have said that out loud. Listen, the longer this goes on, I'm just like, girl, I don't know what you did. And this is why I tell you sometimes, some of y'all, your ancestors aren't the ones you should be praying to. And I'll leave it at that. Okay. because they don't have your best interest at heart, and they never did.
By the boyfriend and probably the ex-friend because she was right in his ear, just letting him say everything online so that at the end of the day, it would be him that people would go after and she could still say that her hands were clean. But we were accused of reaching out to drama investigator to manipulate her. They love to say that people are manipulating people, but they don't realize that they're the ones that are actually doing it. You're literally accusing people of so much and then turning around and doing the things that you are accusing them of. That's psycho. It's giving manic. So after the comments were turning against this man and they were calling him out saying, no, he is creepy. No, he is crazy. Oh my God, no, he is a psycho. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, a false copyright claim was placed on drama investigator's videos. She put over on her Instagram story about it. But you know what the interesting thing is about this false copyright claim is that the name of the person, their last name is Delgado, the same way that Rosalie spells it. That's so crazy. What a coincidence. And do you want to know the reason as to why there was a false copyright claim placed on this video? Because of a photo that was used inside of the video. Now this is going to be this is very important, because there's actually some drama going on with this on social media right now as well. There was a photo used in the thumbnail as well as in the video. It was the man and his daughter on a motorcycle where you could literally look at the lens of his sunglasses and see that his arm was reached out holding something to take the photo. And the copyright claim was placed under this Delgado person's name saying that they owned the copyright to that photo. And how did they own the copyright? Because they took the photo of this man, the man and the daughter having daddy-daughter time on their motorcycle. And so he owned the copyright to it. And he took the photo for the motorcycle club, which actually brings me to my next point, because you guys know that Paige has been having her issues with our ex-friend trying to get the pictures removed of her auntie that passed away. Well, you've been following along with that situation, then you know the estate actually had to reach out to this company to try to get the pictures removed. It was literally requested that the estate reached out so that they could try to have the pictures removed to prove that they own the pictures and not the fucking company. Do you know how sick that is? Do you know how twisted that is? And did you guys know, because a few employees have actually told us this, that the reason that those photos have been up until literally yesterday, which was the day that Paige's brother had to have surgery, was because she was doing it to prove a point. That's what she told her employees. She was keeping the photos up of a woman that passed away out of spite, and she was proving a point. It's actually really sad when people
knew it. I mean, we all knew that, right? That it was fucking spite. Like, we're all aware that it's spite because there's no other reason for it. Like, you can't say like, oh, I'm trying to stand up for myself or whatever the fuck you want to say. Like that, you're not standing up for yourself. You're just being a spiteful ass bitch. And it's not good for you. Like, it's weird to me. Like, why would you do that to somebody? It's just ridiculous. Like, whether allegedly, that's what she said, according to Nick, to me, that's what I believed it was in the first place. Like, because if you look at where she was coming from with talking about her Jacqueline drama, and she wasn't going to let anybody, stand on her anymore and like take advantage of her. And, in her like warped brain at this point, these people are trying to take advantage of her. And it's like, girl, here's the thing. You didn't pay anybody anything to use these photos from what we can see so far. If you produce evidence that you paid them a fair and equitable amount, I will, take it back. I will talk about it. I will like retract it and like make a statement. But babes, you didn't pay anybody. From what we can tell, there were no contracts involved. Nobody got paid. And now you're just being spiteful and hateful. And you have zero compassion, which is tracking right now for the like good Christian lady theme that you're getting out here. And first of all, like, there's nothing wrong if you're actually a good Christian lady, but I know if you're a good Christian lady, you don't have to say it all the time. That's why I know you're a good Christian lady. So she's not a good Christian lady because she has to say it all the time. And I just think that this is mean. It's like, it's beyond mean. And I've said this before, and I'll keep saying it again. Like, I am a very vindictive, I am about vengeance. Okay. Vengeance is my middle name and I will have it. But I draw the line at your deceased family members. Okay. Now, making sure the rest of your bloodline feels my wrath, it is what it is. I'm just going to leave that there. Like, it is what it is. It's going to happen. Like, you brought this upon yourself. But this is just nasty behavior, especially because you're a brand owner. And this is why I don't fuck with these people. It makes me mad.
People that are 20 years younger than you, and some of them even younger than that, are acting in a much better way than you are. Your behavior, ex-friend, as a brand owner, you would literally rather have your brand ran through the mud to try to prove a point to keep some photos up. Like, think about that for a minute. You are literally trying to have people hate on your brand and cause drama online for your brand. Maybe you thought that the drama was going to bring some sales for you, but that's not what's happening. People are literally waking up and realizing that the person that they thought you were is a complete lie. Because you know what? A good Christian woman wouldn't be proving a point by using the pictures of a woman who passed away. And they definitely would not be trying to have an attorney reach out so the estate can get involved as well. Has Paige's family not gone through enough with the passing of the auntie? But her brother, who just had to have open heart surgery literally 2 days ago, then you decided to take it down on the day that he's having the open heart surgery. Wow, you're so generous. I also noticed that you removed the pictures of Dustin, which you said you would have removed in September. You actually said that you did remove them in September, and then they magically appeared at the beginning of December again. So you were trying to prove another point. The only thing you're proving is that you're really immature, and you obviously don't care about your business because you're literally trying to tarnish it by acting like an immature child. So
Period. So we have him in the, okay, hold on. I wanted to pull this up right quick because Natalie has been serving us with all the information we've ever wanted to know about a cease and desist. So appreciate you. This is why I love a live chat. The threat of a C&D has no legal significance other than being a negotiation tactic. Cease and desist letters often require a signature upon delivery, typically sent with a return receipt. I know. I deliver that shit. I deliver that shit. I don't like it. I promise you, if you're like postal person is at the door, like ringing the bell, we don't want to be there. Just answer the door. Okay. Sign the shit. We can both move on with our lives. And if you just get the little peach slip and like just sign it and put it back in your mailbox, we'll take it. We'll redeliver your shit. Promise you. Like package, whatnot. You don't have to go wait in the line. Anyways, I can't imagine like, yeah, here's the thing, Nat. If it comes to that, she will not be like fighting in a US court. That's the thing that she's not understanding. She will not be fighting in a US court. She'll be fighting in a UK court because the copyright would be from the UK. You know what I'm saying? So I think it would be really dumb for her to go that route, just my opinion, because the UK is far more strict on this kind of shit than the US is. Like even if like Jacqueline Hill, all these creators right here who just like have why can't I think of the word? Undisclosed. There we go. Undisclosed sponsorships and all of that shit. And do not disclose their affiliate links appropriately. Like Peter talks about this all the time. If we were in the UK, it would be a completely different story because you're like, you see what happens to them. They get fined, like harshly fined. And that doesn't happen over here. Like they're just like, oh, that's too bad. That's the US. The US is just like, oh, that sucks.
I had to jump in right now as I was editing because I wanted to read you guys these emails because you know that there is an attorney that is having issue with Paige, but she's also having issues with the Do We Know Them podcast and a lot of people over on TikTok. Well, I have my own story about this attorney because in 2022, her firm did a trademark for me for the viewer's voice, and that was literally the only thing that I ever used her for. Well, the reason that I even knew about her was because of the ex-friend, the brand owner that I'm talking about in this video. She was like, hey, she can do your trademark for a good price. Why don't you have it done? Well, this actually falls right in with the drama investigator video because as I said, there was a false copyright claim to take down that video the next day. Literally the next morning, I received an email from this attorney. And do you guys know what it said? I'm just going to give you guys like a little excerpt from it. I'm not going to put it up on the screen or anything, but it says, I understand you are contacting Cosmetics Inc. employees and telling them they need to leave because at the least they will be poisoned if they stay. Very interesting because you have heard the voices of employees say that the man was on speakerphone saying that Dustin and myself were going to be the ones that actually poisoned the ex-friend. Poison has come up a lot for some reason. I've never like talked about poison so much in my life. This is crazy. I also understand you have been posting untrue statements about owner of Cosmetics Inc. on Twitter and YouTube. Here is one example. So if you actually click the link to the tweet that she used as a reference to this slander and just going after like a smear campaign that was going on about this brand owner, it's my tweet. And it says, this was on, what day was this? This was on October 1st, 2023. I tweeted this out at 5:20 p.m. I said, Operation Shady Nick has commenced.
Okay, to answer your question, the copyright strike, correct, means not only can no one watch the video, but it also, so there's a claim and there's a strike. The claim usually means you're going to have to split the profits. So I've gotten claims before on videos, especially when I was using like music from certain sites or whatever. And I would get a copyright claim. And what they're trying to do at that point is usually suck up most of your profits. So because, and this was a big deal at one point in time. I don't know if y'all remember this, like, oh, what year is it? It's 2023 right now, right? So somewhere around 2018, 2019, it started to get real ugly where like creators who had originally had copyright free music would, and not even necessarily them, but somebody would come in and take a portion of that copyright free music, build it into a song, and then come and like they would claim a bunch of people's videos so that they could just like make money off of your video. You wouldn't get the money, they would. So the strike makes it so that not only can people not view the video, but if you get 2 more of those, you're done. And when I mean done, I mean done. YouTube does not fuck around with that. And if you ever wanted proof of that, like just go look at like Sneeko or anybody who got like copyright stricken or pushed off the platform for whatever reason. If you tried to come back underneath a different Gmail account, they will cut you off there. They cut you off at the knees. They do not allow you to come back. Like there's not like a like you would have to do a whole lot of stuff for them to let you back in. But yeah, those strikes are really bad. That's why that was why Do We Know Them was getting like mad stressed out because that nice lawyer lady who's not particularly smart kept striking their channel. The thing that lady didn't realize is that this is YouTube, bitch. This is not TikTok and Instagram where they don't give a shit about their creators. I mean, like YouTube doesn't care, but like also they do. But for the sake of this like burn, this is not TikTok or Instagram where they don't care about their creators and they just automatically like strike people and like remove their platforms. TikTok, like YouTube really relies on fair use. Like I'm using fair use right now to create this video, and YouTube relies on these kinds of formats to be able to like make money. Like no, most of the podcasts we have on YouTube wouldn't exist if it wasn't for fair use. So those strikes harm people a lot. And that's another reason why I have zero sympathy for like Marlena, because she was like, "Oh, I didn't know." Like, yes, you did. Using a strike against somebody, like you can claim if you want to just get the money from it, but if you strike somebody, that's some nasty business. That is some nasty business. And it makes a creator really scared to keep creating because like that there is a chance that if this person keeps winning against you, like what like if you could have it in dispute, but if they keep winning, you are going to lose, for some people, your livelihood. And that's really fucked up. Yeah, she did. And that's a reason why I want like her number 2 hater. I do like I deliver that all day. But yeah, so I wanted to answer that right quick so that if anybody was wondering.
Take a look at how awful I am. Also have a listen to how crazy this person actually is. P.S. We never received a C&D, cease and desist. How do you even run from a restraining order and didn't run from a lawsuit? So when you actually click the link to the video that this goes to, it was in reference to Drama Investigator's video where she was reading off the emails that the boyfriend sent her. The one that had the false copyright claim that I just told you guys about from the Delgado. That's literally the tweet that she used as reference to try to say that I was slandering this brand owner. But it was nothing more than pushing attention to a video of the emails that man was trying to send out to channels that he thought was going to make him look like an amazing person. So how is this me slandering someone? It's actually your client's boyfriend, probably at the command of your client, trying to harass us and trying to actually slander us online. So I called it Operation Shady Nick. He was calling it Project Shady Nick. Shame on me. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I used the wrong word. I said operation instead of project. Oh my. But let's continue because this gets better. As you are well aware, my firm represents Hard Cosmetics. Your online activities appear to be a smear campaign against my client and potentially blackmail. It appears you have also recruited others to further the smear campaign as well as blackmail my client. She literally sent me Paige's Twitter. Like she could have just said Paige Christie, because after that she said, and her mother, Miss Forbes. I am deeply saddened by what I have seen in it rendering my firm's representation of your company as unethical. You want to say that we're unethical, but your little client over there and her man are trying to ruin people behind the scenes. We're unethical? As such, my firm is immediately terminating the representation of LLC. You honestly cannot make this shit up. I'm sorry, there's like a military helicopter.
You're not unhinged.
But you cannot make this shit up. A law firm literally sent an email and accused twice. One time she said potential blackmail, and the other time there was no potential in front of it. It was just blackmail. So which one is it? Is it potentially blackmailing someone?
I mean, I will say you are unhinged in a delightful way in which I am also unhinged, and I like that. But not like, you know what I mean? Not like that weird neck crack where the body is like, and they're like that, not that. Horror movie unhinged. Not that.
or is it just flat out blackmail? Because that is a very bold accusation to throw out at someone. I actually responded to this email. I'm going to read it to you in a second. That's a very bold accusation to throw out there when there is no evidence and no proof of that. Nobody, including Paige and her mother, wanted anything out of this situation except for your client to leave us the fuck alone. And on Paige's family's behalf, they wanted the photos removed of the deceased auntie. That's not too much to ask. Nothing else was being asked for except for that. Interestingly, this attorney is wrapped up in all this drama on TikTok as well as on YouTube for false copyright claims on people's videos. And the day before she sends this email, a false copyright claim got placed on the drama investigator video. But also, that's just such crazy timing that you sent that the day after. Anyways, this is my response. Thank you for the email update. I wasn't planning on using your services for anything else. In regards to your first paragraph giving an example of me trashing your client, I would ask that you as an attorney actually do some better research, as your example was me tweeting a video out of a creator, drama investigator, reading Gerard's boyfriend's emails that he sent to creators as a smear campaign. He also admitted he was going to try and take us down online. I find it very interesting that is the tweet you sent as an example just the day after the video was removed for a false copyright claim, where that creator is now taking legal action against the boyfriend, which we have the video downloaded. Attaches the proof to back up my claims in this email, including the tweets from your client's boyfriend stating, and I quote, "I now feel it's okay to reach out to employers, sponsors, suppliers, etc. Operation Shady Nick will debut soon." It was Project Shady Nick. I'm so sorry I misspoke. Project Operation, who cares? I'm not sure if you thought Operation Shady Nick was something I came up with to speak about this situation, but anytime it has been used has been either from Gerard's boyfriend, screenshot of tweet attached, or me calling attention to a video where his emails were read. I also find it very telling that you didn't send the tweet of me distancing myself from the brand, but telling my followers to continue their support if they love the products. How convenient. Isn't that convenient? In case your client lies to you about not knowing who that Twitter account.
It's really you are correct. This is in fact a primordial soup of messiness. If there's one thing you're going to get from this stream, from his video, from all of this mess, it's that this brand owner has been a problem for a long time. And I feel like there is a very specific reason that she glommed on to these people. Because I think that she thought that they were just like her. Take that however you will. But I think that she thought they were just like her. And now she's finding out that she's not. I feel like she spends a lot of time doing I'm just a little old lady and I'm sweet and I'm kind and I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody, da 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 da. And I hate being taken advantage of. But also this is a mess. And let's get very real. There's way too many receipts against her right now. The fact that she took down Angie up here, let us know. Let's go back up here. Angie was saying Jen took the pics down of Paige's on her site, but still has them on Amazon and other sites. Paige said in her video today and put links to all the places the pics are still up. So it's just this constant level of nastiness. Just take all the shit down. Let your brand die in peace and go be with your rich man, right? He's so rich. Go be with your rich man who's a CEO of nothing and then leave everybody alone. I feel like that is the easiest thing. Yes, it was Karina Kaboom. But it's just I literally don't understand the absolute just vindictive, nasty behavior you have to have done all of this, to just keep going. Because listen, again, I've said, vengeance will be mine. I will destroy you if you have wronged me. There are people right now that don't realize I'm still waiting on your fucking demise. Anyways, leaving that alone. But I'm not going to take it over here. Do you know what I mean? I like but this is what's wrong with you? That's not even if your beef is with Paige, then take it up with Paige. Do you know what I'm saying? Paige will take you on. That's probably why you're trying not to do it, because Paige will eat you the fuck up. But I'm just saying. I just don't get it. I don't understand why we're still playing this game. Get out of here. Just do it. Why are we still arguing? Why are you still causing all this shit? None of this would be happening right now if your man was really rich. That I'll leave you with that. None of this would be happening if your man was really rich. If he was actually rich, he wouldn't be on the internet arguing with your little friends. Okay? He like none of this would be, he wouldn't be sending shit to drama channels. You wouldn't be dealing with any of this. You would be in a nice ass house and you would have somebody who walks behind Yogi picking up his shit because that's the kind of rich that you are. That's what I'm saying. You're not winning right now. Like I just don't I it doesn't make sense to me. If your man's that rich, then let it you should just be rich and quiet. Just be rich and quiet.
Belongs to, I have included a screenshot of her still following his account. Anything placed onto my social media has been a response to your client's lies and slander behind the scenes, which is exactly why I'm addressing everything in this video, because there are more lies and slander going on behind the scenes. I understand you are contacting Inc. employees and telling them they need to leave because at the least they will be poisoned if they stay. This statement is a complete lie and no one has ever told an employee that they would be poisoned. However, 2 employees, named the employees, did speak about how they overheard a phone call, which you guys have now heard the recording, did speak about they overheard a phone call on speaker of the boyfriend telling he was worried about her being alone with us as we could be poisoning/drugging her. The employees' names redacted. Also stated they were worried about cameras being hidden in the office as there's a new sound beeping every so often. Anytime we have spoke with employees' names redacted, who we also are friends with as well, we have let them know the call is being recorded as we know how shady the other side can be and to have it for our protection. There is no further communication with your client Gerard. However, she has been making phone calls to mutuals, including YouTube channels, trying to get them on her side. Some examples of her attempts to slander my name include, but are not limited to, alleging hard drug use, abusing my partner Dustin Daly and her, watching her through cameras we have no access to, deadbeats who never paid for anything, which is all documented. Any transfers of money to your client during our time in Texas have been gathered, and the ones she spoke to will be more than happy to give a statement, should need be. I want to go back and touch on something from the 20th real quick.
I also want to say that I really don't like that she continues to use like his past drug addiction against him. That's some shady, nasty business. Like, I just think that that's gross. I feel like that's super gross. Please stop doing this. Like, it's not like using that. Ugh. And I did want to read this comment. Also, the way that it's her own downfall. Like, I look at Marlena and JG the same. They set up their own downfalls, period. If you can't move with the times, and like it is what it is. It happens to a lot of brands. Like, remember, we used to have CompuServe. It no longer exists. It is what it is. Like, what are we gonna do? But like, just let it go. Also, the way that Peter confirmed that JG was trying to call him and talk to him, she's manipulated to the max. And that's the thing. Like, it's the same thing as, Jalopity Staircase regularly contacting drama channels to like give them the tea. There's a level of just like, I never want to get to the point where anybody's contacting me for shit. Like, leave me alone. Don't be messaging me being like, "Ah." I'm like, "No, I don't leave me alone. I'm not breaking shit. Like, I will not break any story. I will never be breaking news. I won't be that. That won't happen." Again, I have a whole other day job, but this is just ugh. We have like 20 more minutes. I have to pee so bad. I'm holding on. I'm trying to hold on.
Quick, because before we actually left the house, I did a live final walkthrough of the house. I did not go in the ex-friend's bedroom. I did not go down the hallway where I would have to walk by the ex-friend's room, which is where the office was that she tried to tell Peter Munn we were allowing our dogs to shit in. But I did a live walkthrough over on Instagram, and I actually texted the ex-friend that I was going to be doing this like hours before, like when we were done. I'm doing a live walkthrough so she could see the destruction that was being alluded to online was not actually happening and that she was full of shit once again. And in this walkthrough, y'all, I was literally pointing at the ceiling. I was pointing at all the walls. I was even showing the floor. I said in this walkthrough, I'm going to point this down at the floor because I know this person and I know they're going to try something, and I'm protecting us right now because she's not going to say that we destroyed this house. Which another funny thing about destroying this house is I had sound panels up in one of the closets, and if you literally rip them off of the wall, they will literally take off the paint with it. That's how they removed those. Oh yeah, they ripped them off the wall so that it would be damaged so she could try to charge us for it. After Dustin and I left the house and this live had been up on Instagram for a few hours, Dustin received a text from our ex-friend asking to please remove that video from social media because her stalker was going to find her, and her stalker, who she left California and came to Texas for, which by the way, the reason that she actually moved to Texas was because of the
Wait, hold on. I just saw this pop up. Yeah. Peter also said that when he didn't play the game, she stopped calling. So transparent of her. Yeah. Like literally the only reason I've stopped messaging Peter is because like I've been working. Like I'm watching the videos and shit. I got a shout out in one. I was like, "Oh, snap." But like I can't, like, this is when you want me to believe and understand your side. I feel the same way about what's happening with Blair Illuminati, the same thing with James with the S. I'm like, James S. I can't remember his last name off the top of my head for some reason, but like, the plagiarizer of like the biggest plagiarizer of all time at this point. Um you have to make me understand what's happened and why I should believe you. At this point, everything that she has done since this blew up in September, because I said this a long time ago. I said, "Hey, listen, um, I can take a bathroom break. You so right. I'm going to do that in a minute." But I said this a long time ago. I had said like, "Listen, if if all of your friends don't like your man, it is your man. It is your man. It's not they can't all like all of your friends can't be against you." I have never in my life dated someone and all of my friends hated him. I've never had that turn out positive in my life. I've never been like, "See, he's great. Y'all were wrong." No, it's always been like, "No, y'all were right. Like this man was a piece of shit." Right? That's why I don't date men anymore. But like I've never been in a situation at all, ever, where that's happened. I've never like, and if I've been with friends and we've done, it's not been because we do my ex-husband, his brother dated this woman that everyone hated. She was a pathological liar, and I do mean pathological, like, I'm not just throwing that out. I mean pathological to the point that she believes this. Like, you were there at the event with her, and then she will tell you something that happened while you were standing right next to her. You're like, "That's not what happened. I don't know what's happening." Pathological. But we all didn't like her. Nobody. I didn't, his aunt didn't, his sister didn't. Like, nobody liked this girl. All of us were like, "There's something not right about her, and you need to handle up all this. Like, stop being with her." I was the one who was like, "Maybe we should just like chill out and be nice to her so that he will see her terrible habits for himself, right? And he'll like get it together and be like, oh, I should." Instead, they kept being mean. They wouldn't listen, and he married her. But the point is, it did turn out that she was a piece of trash because the things that she did afterwards, I'm probably, it doesn't matter. Does it? I didn't say any names. She ended up leaving him and his child. Like, it was her child. Like, she deleted the fetus from the first time that she ever, not with him, but the first time. The second one, she gave it for adoption. Obviously, she did not want to be a mom, and there's nothing wrong with that. But like, that's what he wanted. Smoked the entire pregnancy. This like new baby like had some issues that he had to pay for and take care of. Baby girl is amazing and beautiful, but she left. She left because he didn't have enough money. Like, we said this. We all knew that. It was her, right? Like, you literally can't tell me, as many times as I myself have experienced it in my life, and I've seen this take place, it is that person. Like, brand owner. If you are watching this, you probably are because you're nosy. Get out. Get out while you still can. Okay? Do what you can to revive your dusty brand. You know, change the packaging for fuck's sake, because that packaging is just, it's like so, it's so 2016. It's very embarrassing. Change that shit. But do what you can. Get out. This man is only going to drag you further down into hell. And like, what are you going to do then? Just And then when he lets you go because he's found some other rich lady to like take advantage of because he's not actually rich, like, what are you gonna do? You can't be that hard up. Like, I get it. I get the need to like not be alone and the way that you can feel lonely. I fucking get it. But like, get out of this. Just find someone else who maybe wants a nice situationship that doesn't negatively impact your life. And on that note, I am going to use the bathroom because listen, I am elderly and my bladder is not youthful. So I shall be back. I had to go so bad. I forgot to loop the screen. I'm like, I had to go so bad. I was like, oh my God, I got me another Topo Chico. This is just water. They had a little bit of water, a little bit of wine. You know, you got to keep things nice and balanced. So I hope everybody else got to use the restroom and got to enjoy the dance break. I forgot to loop it. I always forget to loop it when I have to go so bad. I wait till it's too long. I'm like, maybe I'll just finish in time. And I never finish in time. So we got like 30 more minutes. We can do this. I feel like we've got this. Nick, you came with the receipts, bro. And regardless of the fact that you don't think that non-binary people exist, I exist. Thanks. So, but you came with receipts. And I got to give you props on that. Let's go.
No income tax, but also she does not like California anymore. She actually says it's a shithole, and don't even get her started on Gavin Newsom. And the reason that I'm even bringing this stalker up that she has, which is a man that she was in a lawsuit with, that she actually lost the lawsuit and she has to pay a lot of money to, which she is actively, and this is not me making this up because she literally talks about this in front of every single person that she meets. She has been trying to set that man up for a good long while, and that is the truth.
She gave me $600 cash one day and said, go put a tracker on your ex's car.
When Dustin and Paige were in California with her, she was meeting up with one of his exes named Vanessa because she wanted to take a picture with her because it would trigger him. Because if he says something online allegedly, then he's not going to be able to spend the money in the way that he wants to. She has set it up that she somehow gets to dictate how he spends this money. But there was another person on that trip, and right in front of that person, our ex-friend was talking about how she is going to try to set this man up.
She was saying when we were driving to LA, she was saying that the night before she had ex-girlfriend Vanessa over to the house and they were taking pictures together, and she wanted somebody to post that on social media so that Sean would see it and he would get triggered, and then it would be easier for her to get an order against him.
So tell me, if somebody is actually scared of a stalker and they're so worried that they're going to find out where they are and all this kind of shit, why are you trying to set him up? Why are you trying to poke the bear? But the reason that I even bring the stalker up is because I'm calling bullshit once again. She texts Dustin to say, can you please remove that for my safety because of the stalker? You guys know that I moved here because of the stalker. Oh, shit. Do you guys know that in 2022, when Rosalie and a bunch of other influencers came to the house, she allowed them to walk through the house and do a live stream and open up closets, pantries, and just everything and show everywhere? And do you know that after she texted Dustin and asked me to remove that because the stalker could be watching and he could find her, she did her own walkthroughs. She showed all around that house. So you're not scared of the stalker actually looking on your social media, the person that he's obsessed with. So now I want to talk about how Peter Mon is actually involved in this situation, because what our ex-friend did not know and was not expecting to hear on the phone was that Peter and Dustin had actually been in contact since days before any of this was even brought to our friend's attention. Dustin reached out to him to get his opinion on what he should do and if he should bring this to the attention of our ex-friend. So Dustin and Peter had talked about this for a good long while. So every single lie.
And I'm just going to say, if you ever want advice about something and you want somebody to just tell you how the fuck it is, Peter's going to be the person to go to. That's why everybody talks to Peter. I promise you that. Because if something happens and you want to figure out like how you should handle it, Peter doesn't like really mince words with it. He's like, you should probably do this and do this and do this. Like, he's not saying it because he wants to hurt your feelings or anything, or he wants to be able to like tell the drama. He's literally like, this is what you should do to mitigate the problem. Like, you asked, I'm going to tell you. This is just, it's so messy and it's just unnecessarily so. Like, again, Nick wouldn't be out here, like, as much as Nick enjoys the drama and as much as Dustin, like all these people, as much as they enjoy it, like when you are the target of the thing, it's like a completely different deal. So now he's here having to like literally defend himself against all of this wild shit. And like at this point, again, we're still seeing like he's the only one with receipts. All she's got is like, they're liars and they're trying to ruin me. Please help. Send help.
The ex-friend that you tried to manipulate Peter with on the phone was backfiring. And every single thing that you said to him on the phone, which he let you know, I'm going to go back and I'm going to tell them, and you said that was okay. Well, let's start with this part that he told us actually, because you guys have heard us like make the joke about like, oh, what do you know about dabs on social media for the past few months? Now, there's not a lot of backstory into the reason as to why we say that. Well, our ex-friend, in one of these phone calls that she had with Peter Mon, which by the way, after she started to realize that he was not going to make the videos that she was wanting him to make and he was not taking the information that she was trying to give him and running with it, she stopped calling him. The same thing happened with Rich Lux. Well, towards the end of one of these phone calls, calls, she had the audacity and the nerve to ask Peter Mon what he knows about dabs. Now, it's a little interesting that you would try to bring that up to Peter, who is very vocal. Congratulations on 29 years, Peter, who is very vocal about his sobriety. Could it be
Period.
that you were trying to get into someone's head that I was using drugs because you also told Rosalie that you thought that our bedroom smelled like meth? You have literally tried to tell people that I was using meth and that our
Wait a
bedroom smelled
minute.
like
Hold
meth so
on.
many times, and it has gotten back to me every single time. So on this,
If she tried to say that the bedroom smelled like METH, why would you know what that smells like? I'm not trying to be like argumentative. I'm just trying to. I don't know what it smells like. And I had a very active youthful time. I was raving, you know. I saw DJ Dan spin, Armand Van Helden. It was a time. The early aughts, were just a mess. But why do you know what that smells like? Because even I don't. And I, you know, took random pills from random people at a party. And you're talking to me. I had my neck cracked at a party, not in a sexual way. I had my neck cracked at a party where I did a cocaine, and I still don't know what that smells like. I just want to know who does anybody know what it smells like? If you're why do you know that? I'm just asking, I'm not trying to be mean to her. I'm curious. Why do you know what that smells like? Cuz I for real don't know what it smells like. And I was married to somebody who at one point that was their drug of choice, switched to alcohol. Hopefully they're still sober now. I hope that they are. But why do you know what that smells like? So play, it smells like chemical cat piss. Okay. I wouldn't have known that. I would not have
call,
known
the
that.
ex-friend was like, what do you know about dabs? I find it very funny, ex-friend, that you're going around trying to slander my name and try to tell people that I am doing meth and trying to allude that dabs might be something a little bit more than what they seem. If you're going to continue to say that behind the scenes to people to try to character assassinate me, why don't you continue the story? Why don't you tell them about how the dabs and your edibles, but also the fact that you always offer people some whenever they come over to the house, just the same way that you offered Paige and Adderall? Why don't you tell people that when you were in Colorado doing the Sesh podcast, you were actually going into the dispensary and you text me to ask me to send you your dog's little vest thing so he could go in as well as a service dog? Why don't you tell people that you were actually the one supplying them? Why don't you tell people that the way that those were getting delivered to Texas was under your name as well as your business? You were just slapping labels on stuff because remember, FedEx and UPS don't open their packages right. This is actually very disgusting to me because if you've been on this channel for a while, then you know on social media and on this channel, I've been very vocal about my sobriety. And in 2019, I actually almost died from a drug overdose when I relapsed and I did meth. Literally what she is trying to accuse me of, because the easiest thing to do to somebody that's been vocal about their sobriety and been vocal about their addiction is try to discredit them by saying they're using again. What's funny about this is my ex-friend knows that in the past when people have accused me of it, I've literally got on camera and done a piss test. So when we got back to Florida, the first thing that we did, I went to CVS and I bought one of those drug tests that you can literally test for however many drugs it is. And I whipped my dick out on Twitter and I pissed in that cup. And there were no cuts in that video. The only thing you saw was a sensor over my junk, which is just another lie that's debunked, because that drug test, the only thing that it showed that I had in my system was THC. How awkward for you that you literally tried to go around and tell people that the house smelled like meth. That's kind of crazy. And then you asked Rosalie if she knew what meth smelled like. Bitch, do you? Do you know what it smells like? That's a little bit crazy, because if you do, it's a little concerning. And actually, Peter Mon told me one time, and I actually think about it whenever someone tries to do this to me. He said that when somebody brings up your sobriety, I'm paraphrasing this, when somebody brings up your sobriety and it's in a negative way, they are practically wishing death upon the person they are talking about. Again, this is a good Christian woman, y'all. First of all, you do not need to be speculating on my sobriety or anybody else's sobriety for that matter. And if we're going to be in the business of speculating on people's sobriety, because that seems to be one of your favorite pastimes, you know, ex-friend, in 2022, you know that myself and a few other people that cared about you at the time had to have a conversation with you about Adderall, because in 2022, at the height of when they were pushing Adderall to everyone, you got Adderall and so did Dustin. There's a difference. Only one of you is actually using it in the responsible way. You have said numerous times in front of people, because Dustin was actually prescribed 5 milligrams. You were prescribed 30 because that's what you asked for. You have
not you getting caught. See, this is why you can't be playing checkers with people who play chess, girl. You know what I'm saying? You can't play checkers with somebody who's playing chess. Both games interesting, but one is significantly more complicated. Oh, you're not built for this. Oh, yikes. And listen, I get it. I get the Addie queens out there who are like, it makes me focus. Blah, 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 but stop it. Stop it. If you're doing that, like, because you're able to ask your doctor for it. Because I know that there's a lot of people who can. Like we saw what happened with Michael Jackson. We consistently see it with loads and loads of celebrities where basically they just get a doctor who will write them whatever prescription that they want. Stop, get it together, you know? Like you got to get yourself together because it's not going to end well. Please take care of yourself. Addiction is some serious shit. You need to back up, back off. Yeah, Jenny. I'm so done. No, hold on. Let me pull that up because I've been Jenny's a dude, 10 milligrams make me feel like I'm clipping through walls. Like, yeah. Because I feel like when I was able to take I had a 24-hour ADHD medication. I can't remember the name of it now. It started with a C. And I think it was like 5 milligrams. And like, even that had me just being like I could hear sound, you know what I mean? Like I could hear everything. I was like, what did you say? And they're like, I didn't say anything. I'm like, you thought it. Like it was very intense. Like, especially when you first start taking it and you're like, this is what it's like to be focused. And I don't think I like that. Like Batman voice. Um, this is just God damn, girl, you should have just stayed in the corner and ate your food. Cause now you getting eaten all the way up. Like, ooh, ooh. So the mess smell and Dab's judgment thrown on Nick versus her pills. Please stop, JG. Hear it over your head. Period. I don't even know what dabs are because I am elderly. Okay. When y'all started calling E Molly, I was confusion. Like there was a period of time I was like, is that not the same thing? It's like, no, it's the same thing. I'm like, oh, okay. Why did y'all give it a new name? Generations. We did the same shit. I can't really talk shit. All right.
Told numerous people and actually made a joke about it, about sometimes that you take 60 milligrams. Do you know what they say Adderall is the legal version of for people that actually abuse it and take way too much of it at one time? They say it's the legal version of meth. So I'm not
They
exactly
do,
sure as to why you're
actually.
trying to point a finger at me when you've told numerous people that you take 60 milligrams of that sometimes, but you have also followed up that statement with the fact that you take Xanax at night. There's a word for that when it comes to other kinds of drugs, and that's called speedballing. But also, I find it very interesting that the one here that has had a substance abuse issue in the past, that has literally had the shittiest hand of the stick over the past few years. We had COVID. We had my mom dying from COVID. Had to sell the house, move to Texas, house burned down, lost my mom's cats, and then have to deal with all of this bullshit and you allowing your man to go onto Reddit and social media and try to tell people that I was doing hard drugs. There was an account on Twitter as Dustin and I were still driving to Florida that was literally trying to say all of this stuff about me doing that. They were trying to say that there were cameras in the bathroom. I originally requested the cameras be in the bathroom, so I would be held accountable if I ever snorted some drugs. Does that make any fucking sense to anyone? Because it clearly fucking doesn't. So there was this fake account that was started over on Twitter that was trying to tell people that I was doing drugs inside the house, that I put cameras in the bathroom because I wanted to be caught, because I wanted to be held accountable, and that our ex-friend caught me doing these drugs so many times. Our ex-friend was tagged so many times in a thread with that person. She waited hours to come online and tell people that that person was lying. Can't imagine why. Could it be that I peed in the cup and called your bluff? She literally put a tweet out saying that that person was lying about me just to go behind the scenes and tell Rosalie that the bedroom smelled like meth. Allude to Peter, what do you know about dabs? On top of all the other people that she's behind the scenes trying to say that I'm doing these hard drugs. My point in all this is, not one fucking time since 2019 when I had my incident and I relapsed have I ever even thought to touch anything except for fucking marijuana and shrooms occasionally. I mean, they're from the earth, right? So let's move on to the next thing that our ex-friend was trying to allude to on the phone with Peter, but also on the phone with other drama channels and just anyone she was trying to lie to on that day. She tried to allude to Peter, and she actually tried to get him to ask the question of, oh, you think this is what's happening? She tried to allude to the fact that she was worried about Dustin and Dustin's safety and that he was being abused by me. So you were trying to paint it as I relapsed, so that's why I was acting the way that I was, and that's the reason that I wanted to get out of town because, oh my God, I've been caught. But you were also alluding to the fact that I was abusing Dustin. What a nasty, vile thing to ever.
I'm mad in a lot of ways. I don't. You should never use someone's sobriety against them, like ever, 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 ever. In the realm of things that you can do to be hateful to someone, you can't do that. Like I have said before on a live stream and like in videos, like I wouldn't piss on my ex-husband if he were on fire, right? But I also would never joke about his sobriety. I will always say that I hope he's still sober to this day. Because like the alternative is unimaginable. It was not good. Um for her to do this, and And I think what kills me is the fact that she went and tried to get Peter Mon, of all people, that she went out of her way to be like, "Oh my God, Peter, I've got to tell you, like, da, da, da." Girl, if you don't get the, like, listen, I feel like at this po like, ooh, mm, if all of this is true, there is a very nice seat in hell for you, because this is nasty work. This is nasty work. We have like 4 more minutes. I'm gonna make it.
Ever come out of your goddamn mouth, because you know that Dustin got out of an abusive 13-year relationship because you were there when we all helped him grab his shit and get out of that house. So the fact that you would ever utter out of your goddamn mouth that I would be abusive to him in any way, how fucking dare you, when your friends were concerned for your safety and your friends only wanted the best for you. I find it very funny that you would ever utter the words that you think someone is abusing anyone when you are the one that we had to have a conversation with about Adderall rage, because your personality started to change because of it, and you didn't believe us, and you tried to turn it into a joke of, oh, that person's gonna get my Adderall rage. You have raised your voice and tried to get so many people at restaurants fired. Do you want to talk about Muya, the burger restaurant, when the employee was telling you, ma'am, we cannot cook the burger that way, and you literally said you were going to get him fired because you thought he was lying to you? Because in California, you're in Texas. You want to try to paint that I'm abusive to Dustin? Let's talk about you, because you're the one that has a history of saying that you want to beat the shit out of people, because you know during all this, when you were having a conversation in private trying to manipulate Dustin and get him on your side and turn him against me, you know that you said that you wanted to punch our friend, but at that time, your employee in the face. If you want to talk about me being abusive, let's talk about how you tried to go online and get Van Luke on your side, somebody that you actually don't like. And in August of this year, you literally said that you wanted to beat the shit out of her in text message because she was butting into people's business. You have a history of saying violent things. So if you want to talk about somebody being abusive, you should look in a mirror a lot about this situation, because everything that you're trying to throw at people and trying to have stick about them is exactly what the you are. You want to talk about abusive and crossing boundaries? Let's talk about 2022 real quick. Dustin has not said shit online about the relationship that he was in for 13 years. He has tried to keep it offline as much as possible. This is like the final abusive of a situation that it was, something that you know. So what did you do in 2022? You decided to pick a fight on Twitter with his abuser. You decided to pick a fight so bad on Twitter that you literally bought a shirt about domestic violence, and you were going to start doing live streams to air out Dustin's abuser. I'm not going to go into too many details about that because that's Dustin's story to tell. Our ex-friend literally has tried to tell people that I am constantly looking over Dustin's shoulder to try to see who he is texting. I have not even once in this relationship picked up Dustin's phone. I don't care what is going on in Dustin's phone. I don't care who Dustin is talking to. So no, I am not looking over the shoulder. And no, I am not abusing him in the way that you would like the internet to believe. No, honestly with this, how dare you? You are so vile and disgusting. The fact that you would literally try to pick a fight online with someone's abuser because you thought that you were doing the right thing when Dustin asked you not to do it and he asked you to please stop. You had the audacity to get mad at him. You had the audacity to try to ask me to talk to him so he would be okay with you going after the abuser. What world? You got so pissed at the fact that he didn't want you to do that, that when Dustin and I were sitting outside by the pool at the Airbnb, you slammed the garage door and we could literally see the window shake and sped out of the house and called your employee at the time, Vanessa, so you could vent about it and bitch about it. And you didn't understand why he would be upset. You know what? I'm done with this situation. Ex-friend, I hope that I never have to hear from you ever again. I hope that you actually start to focus on yourself and everything that's going wrong in your own life, and you start to fix that for yourself, because the road that you're going down with all these lies back and forth, the way that you're making your employees probably watch this video now when it's not in their job description, the way that you are literally obsessing over the situation, thinking that people are trying to destroy you when all we ever wanted is for you to leave us the fuck alone. And that doesn't mean only online. That means behind the scenes. Stop calling people and stop lying to them, because every time that you lie to them, it gets back to us. It's getting ridiculous, and honestly, it's beginning to look like an obsession. Every single person that you've talked to since September, every time that they talk to you, they say that you sound manic. You have literally told people that there have been a few days that you have not slept consecutively. You need to worry about yourself. Stop worrying about us in this. We don't want anything to do with you. We are not going behind the scenes and trying to tell people horrible things about you. You told us that you were someone that would never stab someone in the back. You'll stab them in the front. So why the sudden change of heart? Why all of a sudden you want to keep everything off of your social media and you just want to do it behind the scenes? Oh, that's right, because you want to be able to play the victim card. Well, your victim card has been revoked.
Oh, shit.
Hello,
Okay,
everyone, and
hold up
welcome
now.
back to Do We
Oh my God. Wait, we need to take a breath. Okay. We need to take a breath. Okay. A breath. Oh my God. Wow. Is everybody okay? Is everybody all right? Jesus. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. Please hold on. I'm trying to get it together. Jesus. Oh my God. Ooh. Like by the end, I felt like, you know, in that Kendrick Lamar song where he just starts like getting it and getting it and getting it and getting it, and you're like, oh shit. That's what I felt like was happening at the end. It was like the literal way that I felt. I was like, oh, 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 oh. Like I felt like I was in the middle of a rap battle. I know it's terrible shit that's happening, but it was like a lot. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. That, whoo, okay. First of all, I'm gonna tell you right now, if that were me, my ass would be on fire. There was a baboon. This is gonna be a weird side story, but there was a baboon, and it was the one that has the very colorful face, colorful nose. I don't feel like it had like the big colorful butt because it was like a black baboon and big. And at the time, my mother was engaged to this man. And like every time we went to the zoo, this man would engage in some kind of like weird warfare with this baboon. And the baboon always won because the baboon was like, I ain't having this shit. I don't know why I just told you the story, but that's what it feels like is happening right now. If I were her, like Nick in this scenario is the baboon. That's why I'm telling you. And she is my mother's ex fiance. And it's like, this baboon is going to beat you up every time. The only reason that you are standing right now is because there are bars in between y'all. Girl, I need you to just go home. Like, just stop. I just like, thank you. Like everybody's over here. Verbal AK. Oh my God. The ending did, in fact, burn more than my Peach and Lily resurfacing mask. Holy shit. I heard finisher echoing. And here's what I'm going to tell you. I don't know anything about body language. I just know about how like I perceive someone's body language after having watched them for a while. And I'm going to say that as he was firing off those kill shots at the end, like just straight looking at the camera the whole time, like didn't even break eye contact, was like, I'm gonna eat you up, bitch, and you about to stop fucking fighting with me. Um Thank you. If someone made a video like that on me, I would be cease and desist. Like, let me go. Thank you. I've watched that video so many times. Nick is amazing. I do not want to be on the bad side of that. Like, Jesus. Oh my God. Whoo. Like, I feel like everybody's over here like my hair's blown back. I'm like, ooh, he really did say, keep my name out of your fucking mouth. Like, that is enough. Listen, this was very intense. Like, I was expecting to get tea, but I was not expecting to get like slapped at the end. I was like, I just got slapped. Harsh, rough time. Um, Holy smokes. Like, girl, honestly, this was like the read of the read of the reads. And I'm just like, he did not even take a breath, which is like, I was like, oh my God, just stop. Like, this does feel like Kill Shot from Eminem, when MGK had to switch careers. He was like, I'm a rapper. Just kidding. I do pop punk. Like, oh my God. Like, I feel like we're all just sitting here like, and I did want to say this too. If she's trying with Peter, she's trying with all the channels. And like, listen, I know Peter's a grown ass man and doesn't need anybody to like baby him or whatever. But I was just like, girl, I know you're not coming over here trying to like mess with Peter like that. Girl, you better get it together because this is the wrong person to be playing with. Like, sobriety is important to him. And if he thought that any of his friends were like actually struggling, babes, like, that's really shitty to do to somebody. You know what I mean? Like, that's as shitty as pretending you're gonna unalive yourself. Like, that's really shitty. You can't be doing that. He does, in fact, have a master in burnology. Oh my God. I had it at 1.25. Like, but as he kept going, did anybody else's ADHD just be like, I'm beginning to feel like I'm a rap god, rap god. I'm just curious. Um, like, I at the end of all of this, it's just like, girl, I think it's time for you to admit defeat. I think that um I hope that therapy will do something for you, because therapy isn't for everybody. Like, I know a lot of people be like, go to therapy, but therapy isn't for everybody. Some people are either too self-aware for therapy, and that makes it more difficult for them to seek good therapy. Some people use therapy as a way to be able to continue to manipulate people so they can use therapeutic language to do so. And for some people, they're just never going to be ready to actually like speak about what's happened in a way that's going to be helpful for them. I just hope that she finds some way to heal and help herself, because right now it's not looking good. If you're peddling bullshit stories, and this is the thing, if like you're talking about sides here, I can't take hers, because so far everybody involved in this, we've all seen them have to see that this man has been like trying to peddle a story, that she's been trying to peddle a story, that they've all been trying to like show up behind the scenes doing wild shit, trying to like make Nick and Dustin look like the bad guys. And it's not going over well, is my my final thoughts. It's not going over well. It's not giving what it's supposed to have gave. I think it's time for you to sit down, figure out who the fuck you want to be. Because if this is who you want to be, I mean, say bye-bye to your brand, say bye-bye to all that stuff, because ain't nobody gonna really want to fuck with you after that. You know what I mean? Even I think the Nick and Dustin haters, if you watch this video, if you just watched it with him and didn't see it with me, I'll have it linked in both of the videos. I forgot to link it in the last one because I'm an idiot, but like, I'm not an idiot. I'm super smart. I'm just forgetful. I have ADHD. That's fine. You're okay. Sorry, I have to do every time I call myself like a bad name, I've been working on like giving myself a good like self-affirmation afterwards. Like, you don't call yourself that because you're actually really smart. So that, because the way you talk to yourself is how you like behave out in the world. So I just think that it's time for her to like pack it up, girl, pack it up. Like, and yeah, exactly this. Nick's video to me shows that this is not about that man, that she's fucked up to the core. Yeah. Like, you had people who were willing to be out there and try to, even if you didn't love it, they tried to protect you. Even if you hated the way that they tried to protect you, they tried. Um, But you have to see that, like, everything that you're doing and have been doing, like, it's not just him. It is you. You're a nasty person. And you just have to, like, come to grips with that. You have to come to grips with the fact that you're a nasty person. See? Yeah. Like, those of us who out there, like, try to, like, you try and say silly goose, always remember, if you call yourself a name, like, try to come back from that. Treat yourself better. Like, it's it's tough work, but, like, you have to keep doing it. And to some people, makes you look a little, because they hear you being like, "You're not stupid. You're da da da." But if the more you do it, like, less you call yourself these names. 2024 is something I am trying to move into, not negative talking myself so much, because it's very easy for me to do. Um, yeah, I don't think she just magically changed. I think that my opinion is she's been putting on this like fake ass face for a long time. She's been putting on a fake ass face for a long time to hide an ugly personality underneath. And that's just my opinion. That's how I've seen it. I feel like her like, "Ah, la, 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 la," it's just like, that's all fake. Like that. I feel like I felt like that for a long time. Like, that's some fake ass shit that she's trying to put on. And I don't like it. I feel like after watching this video, the 2 hours, with all of y'all who watched this with me, and those of you who came back on the replay and watched it, like, hot diggity dog, drop some bat emojis in the comments if you made it to this like point, because this is basically, we're like at the end. So what have we learned? What have we learned, class? Well, what we have learned is that, number one, you cannot treat people so disrespectfully and expect that they're going to do nothing. You cannot expect that these people are just going to sit back and allow you to behave like this. We've also learned that if you're going to have this kind of nasty behavior and then try to like play the victim at the end of it, you can't, because you have too many other people lined up who know who you are and what you've really done. Okay. This isn't a good situation. It's not, this is stopped being a he said, she said. This has stopped being friend beef, because we can obviously now all see it's you. You're the problem. Again, Paige is who Paige is, Nick is who Nick is, Dustin's who Dustin is. All these people are who they are. At the end of the day, though, everybody can't just be like making shit up about you. There like has to be There has to be something. And I do always give these folks just like a smidgen of leeway because I will never forget that they were there for Peter during the John Cookian mess. I'm not going to go into that, but they were there for him. They, helped him to get his reputation back and all of these kinds of things. These are people who were there for him. So I just don't think that you can keep pretending like it's these people. You cannot depend on their like general, I guess, quote unquote shitty nature to be able to back yourself up. Like you don't have any receipts and you've not been showing them. And I don't care if you're going to sit there and say like there's stuff that I could say but I'm not. Say it then. Now's the time to say it. Cuz you just got ate all the way up multiple times by multiple people at this point. And you had a lot to say about Jacqueline. So like say what you want to say and let the words fall out. Because honestly, I want to see you be brave, bitch. So, anyways, that is that on that. You can't sing on YouTube, but surely you can just like say the words, right? And that is not plagiarizing. Y'all know the song. Thank you. So, it has been another 2.5 hour long stream. I appreciate all of you who showed up for this. I appreciate everybody who I think I finished almost all the comments from the first stream. I have a couple more that I'm responding to that like we're just in there after. If you've responded after that, I probably won't hit them, but like I truly appreciate each and every one of y'all for like being here. Like that's wild. It's like one of those things where I'm just like, wow, I can't believe y'all like y'all came for this shit. Like I appreciate it. I think I'm just gonna have to admit that like my streams are gonna be long as shit, and that's who I am as a person. Um, and again, I thank y'all so much. If you made it to the very, very end, and you watched on the replay, bat emotes or emojis in the comments. Also, let me know what you think about this situation, and I will see you someday. I have the James Somerton apology locked, loaded, ready to go. We're gonna look at it. We're gonna chat about it because this shit is wild. If you need a refresher, make sure you go watch the H Bomber Guy video so that you know who I'm talking about. I'll try to link that in this description. So like just enjoy y'all. Be safe out there. And, until next time, I am so pretty and so are you. I love that.